Hello, everybody. How you doing tonight? It's Tuesday Night Live. Jackie Ray, G-Lew. But I don't see the fab. Uh-oh. Maybe he's coming.
There
Maybe
we
he's
go.
coming on board. There it is. Hey, G-Lew. How are you
Mhm.
tonight, sir?
Okay, here we go. Good evening. Good evening, Jackie. How are you?
I'm good.
Can
I'm
you hear me?
good. Yes, I can hear you pretty well. I can.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Welcome to the show, episode 3. Jackie Ray, G. Lou, Tuesday Night Live. We have the lovely Miss Jackie Ray from the Poetry of Justice show. Every Saturday night, you know me. I'm G. Lou from the G. Lou show, and tonight I'm gonna let Jackie tell you what we have going on, and then we're gonna introduce our guests as well.
Have a little bit of feedback.
You have
I take it
feedback?
Miko. Yeah. So a little bit of feedback because I think I've got Miko in the other room who's going to be preparing to log in on the show tonight. So I'm gonna
Okay.
just ask her to just tone it down just a little bit. You guys, excuse
I
me,
don't
just
hear it.
one. You don't hear it? You
Yeah, I
okay?
don't hear
Hold
it.
on. Okay. Thank you, guys.
What's up, Lori Ray? Good evening, Miss Lori Ray. Shout out to Lori Ray out there in the comments.
All
Thank you
right,
for joining us
everybody.
tonight as well. Shout out to
I
Lori
told
Ray. Shout out to our sponsors, BTP Media, 93 Tweet FM, ISM, Yikes Radio, AccelerateRadio.net, the Jackie Ray Poetry of Justice show.
you right.
Okay, go
So
ahead, Jackie.
we are back, everybody. So, what we're going to be talking about tonight, we thought it would be an interesting component to talk a little bit about polygamy versus monogamy. And I think we even put in there, which are you? You know what I'm saying? So, what we're hoping is by the time our discussion ends tonight, we'll be able to, decide what we're thinking about it. You know what I mean? What you think about it. So, what do you think?
Uh oh, we lost Lori. We lost Lori Ray. I think she was about to ask me what I think about it. Polygamy or monogamy. Um, I'm gonna say monogamy. You know, it's just not healthy to be. I don't know. When you're young, you could do that though, I guess, but it's not healthy and it's not the right thing to do. But in the other countries, which I'm sure we'll speak about tonight, uh, that's what they do and that's legal and that's what many countries do. It's just not practiced in United States, so we're not used to it, I guess. Go ahead, Jackie.
Okay, sorry about that. Anyhow, guys, yeah, we're back. Polygamy, monogamy. I apologize, Julia. Had a little tech difficulty, so
It's okay.
wasn't quite sure when you heard. What did you say
Yeah,
about
I
polygamy?
answered it. I thought you were about to ask me, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I said monogamy. You know what I mean? Because I just said it's just I don't think it's not as healthy to be polygamous. But I said in other countries and other places though they practice that, and that's what they do. We're just probably not accustomed to it as much here in the states. So we don't. And no, the ladies don't like that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sure a lot of the fellas would could appreciate that. So I'm just let the people speak. But go
You
ahead.
guys
That's
just
how I
right
feel about it.
there.
Yeah.
That's wild. Okay. I don't know. Let me see. Let me see. I don't know. Miss Miko Phillips. What does she think? She hasn't tuned in. Hey, Terry, how you doing?
Okay. Now I
She
wanted you
hasn't
to
chimed in.
introduce her before we brought her in.
Ah, okay. You tell me. I'm going with you. We just making it happen. We just making it happen one moment at a time. So
Mm,
I'm sorry, guys.
okay.
A little technical difficulties, but we good. We good. All right, G-Lou. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay. Well, this is Miko Phillips. I thought she was gonna introduce you. She still didn't, but this is
Okay.
Miko Phillips, Jackie Ray's lovely daughter. Hello,
Hello,
Miko.
everyone. Hello, everyone.
Hello, Miko. How are you doing? We
Doing
got
good.
Miko in the house. I apologize if I didn't give a proper introduction. Just had a little bit of moments over here. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, we got Miko Phillips joining us the show tonight. She actually helped me with this concept, G-Lu. When I say help me with it, we were watching Miko. You can let everybody know what it was that we were watching. But you remember that show when we were talking about and the polygamy versus monogamy? You was like, "Hey, mommy, you should consider this show. So
Yeah,
well,
so there's a show that I watch at times. It's called The Grapevine. It's also on YouTube, where a lot of like young people kind of discuss issues that go on in the Black community. And on this specific episode, it dealt with the idea about monogamy versus polygamy. And I just thought it was a very interesting thing, especially, with everything that's going on with Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. And I just thought it was just, kind of an interesting idea, especially like knowing the history of it and why we observe monogamy kind of in a social aspect.
right.
And what's your
Well,
take on the whole thing?
What's my take?
Yes.
I'm gonna just jump in. Okay. So polygamy is natural, I think, and polygamy is made to benefit women. So hear me out.
Okay.
Polygamy would benefit women because they would not have to necessarily like want for anything, because in nature, men are supposed to come for women, right? So think about a peacock. The best, he has the best feathers. He has to show out to get the woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you have all the best feathers, all of the women are going to flock to you. So if we put it in human terms, all of the rich men are going to be able to afford wives, right? Back like in the Bible days, right? If we want to go into an antiqual space. So rich men would assume all of the women, right? Because back then, even women were considered property for some odd reason, which is horrible. But I think that women would have nothing to worry about, right? Here I am with this rich man, like, good for me. But when you think about all of the poor men out there who cannot afford wives, what about them? Yeah. So since we live in a patriarchal world where men are kind of put first, what are we going to do with our poor men? How are they going to get wives? Oh, let's create a system called monogamy where, every man is able to be granted access to a wife.
Okay.
What are you thinking about that?
Wow. That's deep. Who is the young man you have next to you? That's what.
This is my boyfriend, Greg.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Yeah, Greg, what's up, homie? That's interesting. Yeah, I'm good, homie. What do you feel about what your lady has to say, bro?
It makes a whole lot of sense. It is natural. Monogamy, if you really think about it, it's not natural. But then again, what do we do that is natural? We are animals, correct?
Okay.
But what other animal, bathes itself, clothes itself, cooks its food, makes its own house, shelters, house to live in the way we do, things of that nature. There's nothing we really do that is natural. So I think to expect us to be, polygamous or natural is just, I don't think it's really realistic. It might have gone on like back then, but it's not as big, it's not as big now, of course.
Okay. Let me get this straight. So you believe in polygamy. So how does that work for like you said, that's for married people and wives and stuff. But how does it work for like boyfriend and girlfriend?
So I think the thing about polygamy that people don't understand it's also very different from an open relationship too. I guess they kind of coincide a little bit, but how it will work is that you have a common understanding of like, we are all in one relationship. So like, let's say, like as an example, I have Greg as my boyfriend, but I have like 2 other boyfriends too, right? They all know about each other, right? Everybody's on the same page. We all recognize the same thing, right? And we all have a consensus that we are in one.
Right.
So think about, there's a basketball player. What's his name? What's his name? The basketball player on the Clippers?
Lou Will.
Oh, Lou Will. Lou Will had like 2 girlfriends, right? And they were fine with being in that relationship with him. That's a polygamous relationship. They all considered each other one relationship, although there's more than 2 people. And they respected each other's boundaries, and it worked just fine, right? So I think that lots of couples are able to do that. I just think that people need to Just recognize and respect the boundaries of it all. But if your partner's not comfortable with that, then you just can't do that. Like that's
okay. So that's what I was gonna say, because that's like right. That's like how a lot of people, okay, like you say, you can have a relationship, open relationship, both people know. But what if one person starts to disagree, mainly the female with another female, they don't like them, or the guy showing them more attention? Say, for instance, like somebody has a threesome. You decide to have a threesome with your man. You feel me? And then you get this lady over here. You guys do the threesome where you may be into or whatever. Y'all, and then just so happen your guy gets more into this female after that. You know what I mean? It's a problem then.
See, that's the thing.
So
That means
like
he
that.
was never for me, though. He was never mine in the first place, right? If he's mine, he's mine.
That's deep.
And he gonna come back to me no matter what we do, right? So that means I never had him anyway. So he can just go ahead and go. Here's your walking papers. You could leave. So that's the way people have to think about it. If that person's meant for you and you guys have a common understanding, then that person will come back and you're also going to come back. So it's kind of the same thing. I think we got to erase our minds the idea that women are so possessive and jealous, because that's not the case. Because if we flip the script, like how many men are going to be okay with their girlfriend having 2, 3, 4, 5 boyfriends, right? Right. So
that's where the problem though comes in, because you would think for the females, but really for a man, that would be a problem. I think men have a real issue. Like men can cheat and do what they do, but they find out their woman did it. It's a real big deal.
Right. I feel like that's a huge double standard. And also just in general, so many women get cheated on. I don't want to say just women, but so many people get cheated on anyway. I think if some couples were to sit down and have an agreement with one another, like, adultery wouldn't really be that big of a thing.
That's deep, Miko. You got a deep concept there. Wow, she's dead serious too. Go ahead, Jackie, chime in.
Yes, I apologize. Well, I was going to just let you know, Mika Smith from our Facebook followers, G-Lew, she says that it definitely has to be a mutual agreement. And so she was just kind of stating that if all, put it this way, we've always talked about sometimes rules of engagement. Obviously the art of war, friendships, relationships, right? If you have this agreement and people can kind of make a decision if it's okay having an open relationship, I think it should be okay if those two parties kind of, agree upon it. But what about from a financial perspective? I kind of wanted to know, what do we all think about it from a financial perspective? So let's say, for instance, if we go from a polygamous situation, there's more people involved, so more people can kind of bring into this community. What do you think, G-Lew?
Your daughter already said it. It's like for real, like this grown people stuff. If you can't handle it, you shouldn't be involved in it. Right, Miko? Like she said that about other parts of the situation. If this is something you're not ready for, can't handle, meaning that with the wives financially or whatever, this something, everybody can't do it. Everybody can't just get out there in the deep end.
Right. So the way that our world works is typically like through commerce and through money. Just think about dating. If you're in a monogamous relationship through dating, it's like he has to court me, like as the young lady, right? So he needs to take me out on dates. He needs to buy me stuff. He needs to do all this to let him know or show that he likes me in whatever way, right? So in terms of a financial situation, having one girlfriend is expensive. So if you're going to have 2 or 3 or 4, that's extremely expensive, right? So you need to make sure. And that's the type of women you date. Some women don't care about that. You know what I mean? There's women who are more so like, I don't care if you have money. Like, you make me happy, so we're both happy. I want another boyfriend. You can have another girlfriend. And it doesn't necessarily have to be about finances. But if we want to speak specifically about finances, I think that person needs to have, a lot of money. Think about like these rappers with like 4, 5, 6, 7 baby mamas. If it was legal to have that many wives, they would, right? Because somehow they're able to afford her lifestyle as well as their children's lifestyle. So that's basically the same thing. I think when you have lots of baby mamas, that's the same thing as it's literally the same thing.
Yeah, because you have to have a relationship with them. Hey, before we continue, Jackie, can you read a couple of those comments? Like one comment in there is really, I can't read it all, but it seems to be pretty in depth.
Okay, is that Mac
Macro
Rosales?
Oh,
okay, Mac. Anthropology. I don't even know if I said that right. And genetic studies offer 2 perspectives on when monogamy evolved in a human species. A paleoanthropologist offered tentative evidence that monogamy may have been evolved very early in in human history, whereas genetic studies suggest that monogamy might have evolved much more recently, less than 10,000 BC. Matt, what are you telling me, Matt? 10,000. But then he say, what do you say? I want to comes to the Bible. It does talk about polygamy, specifically in Genesis. Monogamy is specifically talked about in the Bible also, but it talks about the leaders of the church. If you want more information on that, it's one of the letters to the church in Corinth. So
you said the Mexican gangster rapper. Macro Salas. What's up, homeboy? Much love, man. That was deep though. I had to read that comment, and some more people in the comments as well. Lori said, what about the females? I think she spoke about that. It has to be mutual, right, Miko?
Yes, it definitely have to be mutual, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, guys. Shoot.
What do you think? Yeah, you never gave us your take on it, Miss Phillips.
I think people need to. I think it's the time to have new ideas, right? Mm-hmm. I think it is natural. I'm thinking that, but I don't know. This is where I get stuck. I get stuck on the double standard. We all know that, okay, like you were saying, G-Lew, earlier, that if a woman does it, then it's possibly frowned upon. But if we are human beings and we are naturally inclined to like more than one person, to be attracted to more than one person, I'm kind of teetering on the Jada Will thing, in that if these are the idea, not just them, we're just putting that out there because that's the new big meme discussion right now. But I do agree that, and I think relationship evolve and change. Maybe at one juncture it's a monogamous situation, and let's say things get tight, and like if Miko, we have to go to what you're talking about. If you need to go to more of a poly scenario to kind of bring a family together or make things happen the way things need to happen, I think it's open for discussion, and we should be a little bit more open, for those maybe people who may be a little bit more closed-minded. I used to be really closed-minded. That was my thing. It was like, no, one person.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think it's hard for a female. You got to be like a real, like, because a lot of females just are real, like you said, it's hard. They're real possessive, so or really, have real feelings. So that's why they're mainly into one person rather than dudes, get around a lot. So how?
That's the thing that we're taught, right? Mm-hmm. Naturally, just as much a woman can get around just as much as a man can if she wants to, you know what I mean? But society has taught us women cannot do that. So when a young girl, when she's a kid, right? If like I have to be socialized, like, okay, Nika, you can't do that because we're gonna consider you a loose woman or a promiscuous or a hoe if you conduct yourself in that way. Now, a young man, the way that he's, he gonna have hella girls when he gets to a grown man, or like, oh yeah, this is how you deal with women, this is how you do this. Like, we teach each other those things. So naturally, as a woman, I have been taught to have my self-worth in the eyes of a man. So if my man steps out on me, that means I'm less of a woman. So I need to be mad. I need to be possessive and covetous of him, when it shouldn't be that way. We should both be covetous of each other if that's our choice. That's right. It's all about choice. You don't have to be. If you like monogamy, like monogamy. I like monogamy personally. It's not a problem for me, right? Because that's the understanding that we both have. But if it ever comes to a point where you don't want that, and you and your partner decide, like, you know what, let's get in the ground on this, let's try it out, I don't see why it needs to be demonized.
I can see that.
Yeah.
So you're living your life and you got this one-on-one relationship, guys. You've been in this one relationship, a monogamous relationship, for years. Let's say 15 years you've been in a monogamous relationship, and then all of a sudden your partner watches Tuesday Night Live with G-Lew and Jackie Ray and listens to Miss Miko Phillips and decides, you know what, I want to try this. I want to try something else. I want to do something different. How do you think you can approach your partner to say, you know what, I don't want to do monogamy anymore. I want to open this relationship up a little bit, and I want to do some polygamy. How do you think you would take that if your partner came to you that way?
How would I take it?
Yeah, I was just wondering, what would you do? What would you do?
I feel like I really need to sit down and like hear this. Like I want to put my ears down and literally listen. On top of that, I want to see some like research. Let's get in the ground on this. If it's 15 years in, are we married? No. Married or no?
No, you're not married.
Not married. I don't really see why I would have to consider that if I don't want it. If I'm just like a hell no, then I'm just gonna say a hell no. But if we're married and the conversation comes up, I think that would give me a little bit more concept of thinking about it, because it's like, wow, we're tied together, finances are together, possibly children are together, so I might have to think about this. But if I'm on the no side, then I'm just not gonna do it. But if there's always been a part of me that was like low key down, then I would just be like, sure, like let's try this out. Let's see where it goes. Here are my terms and conditions. What are your terms and conditions? Let's get to the table, pen and pad it up, write it down, and let's have our rules, and let's see if we can do this.
G-Lew, you want to read that recent comment?
Straight shooter said polygamy is high mathematical functioning, not based in lower desires, threesomes and beyond. That's the homie Straight Shooter. He said it's a great topic. He said it's a great topic though, especially in these times. And Macro Solid says, I think people forget that marriage is a contract between two individuals. Even the Bible says marriage is a contract between you and your partner and the Lord. Macro Solid, gangster. Say what, Miko?
It's a contract. Like it's a legal document. It is a contract. It's also a spiritual document. It's a contract. It's not like think about it. Why does it have to be a contract? Why must I write it down on paper saying that we are tied together? Why? Because it comes with money, comes with land, comes with children. It comes with a lot of different things that pull it together to make it a societal function. Therefore,
go ahead. No, Miko is serious. Yeah, she is. Much respect, Miko. But check this out. What do you think? Being that you guys are young, right? What do you think about marriage these days? I mean, we're speaking about marriage contracts. You think it's overrated? It's not the same, because it's definitely not the same as it was when we grew up. Your mom, parents, like, it's way different. And I know you guys see that now, especially in times right now with the, social media, and it's so many distractions, right? So. For married people, what do you guys think about marriage in 2020?
I think our generation is tending to get married a lot later. Generations as a whole. Of course, you got some outliers. I know a few people who are married who I went to high school with. One's actually a close friend of mine. He got married at 23, I think. Graduated college, boom, married. He proposed at his graduation. But as a whole, we're getting married a lot later, and I feel like that's partly because of the times that we're in. We have social media, we have all these kind of
the economy is really it.
The economy too, and also with the economy, also with society. Also with social media comes a lot of
a lot of distractions,
temptation.
Yeah, so much in your face.
Exactly.
You got to be strong, boy. You got to be strong, like as a partnership. You have to be real strong these days, because there's so much real stuff out there, like for either party to be distracted. You know what I mean? It's a lot, man. You got to have a real strong foundation.
I think these days it typically does come down to economy, because in the 90s, like when Gen X, you guys are in Generation X, money was kind of flowing a little bit differently than how it is for our generation. You guys could be 20 years old and get married and then have kids and then live a good life, buy a house by the time you're like 28, stuff like that. That is not an option for my generation. Like, I'm 24 and it's like I'm still living at home. I'm trying to work and get my money up to go to the next spot. I have 2 degrees. Like, it's not easy out here to be able to just maintain and live that type of lifestyle.
Right.
So I think back then it was just a different thing. But I also, I agree with social media. My generation specifically, I've had social media since I was in middle school. Since I was in the 6th grade. So that has definitely, been, indoctrinated me into the world of dating very differently. But I will say, as we get older, I'm seeing a lot more people get married. because I'm 24, I don't really see it like hands on like that. But when I see people like with black love and stuff like that get married by like 30, 31, 32, and a lot of it comes down to being settled in life. Like,
right.
that's another thing.
Yeah.
We don't just get married because we feel like we have to.
Right.
Like, we understand the ideas of marriage. We understand what comes with it. Like how it's a contract. Why would I sign a contract if I'm not down?
Right.
If I didn't read the script, if you're not ready, so you need to really make sure you're ready.
Right. Wow. We got some comments, everyone from Facebook as well. Everyone is saying great topic, and we thank you so much. But Nika says that she's much more territorial, and she says, I do not want to share me personally, but she does understand why people would want to engage. Janie Jackson says, if I was not able to please him because I may be sick with an illness, then it wasn't my man to begin with, or my husband. Not quite sure exactly.
I don't really mean understand that one.
I know. That's what I'm saying. If I was not able to please him because I may be sick, it says XIX, but maybe she's saying
like an illness.
Yeah, with an illness. Then I wasn't my man or husband.
Okay, this is what I'm hearing her say. Granted, she might restate it. I'm thinking she's saying like if she had an illness and her person like stepped out on her, he wasn't really with her for sickness and in health, like it says in the contract.
Oh, going back to the contract thing.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. That's
not longer marriage.
That's what it's supposed to be about. But I'm just saying these days, I don't know, man. It's just like, whew, it's I don't know. You don't have real love out there.
Everybody in my family's married, so it's like I believe in marriage. I want to be married. You know what I mean? That's what I'm used to. Mm-hmm. So it's not a problem. I don't think getting married is a bad thing or like anything like that. I just think I'm going to just take my time and just be selective with a partner. That's all.
Right. Which is smart, yeah. and I mean, because like you said, it's just different these days. People back in the day just got married. You know, that was like the normal thing early, maybe out of high school, and just did that. You know, it's different times now. You have to know who you're with, you know, for the long run, you know.
No, man, chivalry is not dead, you guys. We got it not gonna be dead.
Right.
Let's see.
Right.
Listen, guys, I'm sorry.
Anybody else out there, you feel if you're worthy enough and you want to come inside the chat with us, or you can come on camera and, you know, state what you want to say. If you feel
so he was a dog. They said he was a dog. I was looking at some of our comments here.
Okay.
No. Yeah.
Mac Rosales. I like Mac.
You see it.
Yeah.
We got Mac. Polygamy versus monogamy. I don't know, guys. Monogamy. I think monogamy looked like it's kind of winning. What do you guys think is winning?
Monogamy is winning?
What do you think?
I think. See, I didn't want to do verses. I don't think it's verses. I think it's more so of an understanding of what each bring. That's all it is. I think people are really judged for having polygamous relationships. I don't think that they should be judged. It's nothing
because it's just not as normal here. Like that, you're just saying it like it's just normal, so people don't hear of it a lot, even though it's probably going on. But just to say it,
right?
Comfortable.
Legally, I guess it's illegal technically because you can't have more than one wife.
Right.
But I mean, so many people practice it anyway. It doesn't matter. I personally, I would rather be in a polygamous relationship than my partner cheating on me all the time.
But let me say, okay. Well, let me say this: when you say cheat, because cheating is broken down differently. You can have somebody that, like you say, just a dude that probably is no good and just cheats. So that's all he does, you know, just cheats. Or you can have a situation where maybe your man just cheated once or something. He got caught, you know, and it was serious, but it wasn't like a thing he just does. And then second of all, how do you choose if you are going to be in a polygamous relationship? How does that work out? How does it break down? Who chooses who? How do you know this is the partners we're going to have? How do you decide on who they are? And all of that right there where both parties are comfortable.
And that's the fun part about it. I feel like you just sit down and chat. Like, you, like for example, pull up your Instagram, like, oh my gosh, and this person, I'm gonna explain to them that we're in a relationship. All right, so honestly, I have a friend, my friend that I've had since I was in middle school. We went to Miami last summer, and this couple really likes her, and they want her to like kick it with them. To be in that situation is called being the unicorn. They want her to be her unicorn. So like they send her money, like when they come out here, they come see her, all that type of stuff. That's
Right.
what like they're in a polygamous relationship because it's like we both like her, so we want to be with her. Or you know what I mean? That's their situation, and that's how they get down, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I've seen it close. I've seen it firsthand and how it can work, right? So they saw her, they approached her, they talked to her. That's literally as simple as it gets. So think about it. If you're like the fact that you're in a relationship, you move as one.
But is it a relationship or just a fun time? Because that sounded like maybe they just hooked up and had a good time. So is it?
No, it's not.
Now we're in a
It's
relationship. How do you know is it an official relationship now?
Yeah.
right.
We
But
go together.
add her. But see, the thing is, they gotta ask her. They gotta get to know her. They gotta see if she's with
Lori
it.
G. Right. Go ahead, Miko. Auntie Lori wanted to come in.
Lori,
Hey, sis.
What up, Lori?
Hey.
You just had to come in on this, huh?
Hey guys, I had to.
Your
come
niece over here, she is serious. She's the real deal. She is the real deal.
There you go. Can't make it up.
Wow. Okay, go ahead, Miko. Oh,
I'm saying like if you are both in one couple, like you're sharing the same ideas and same mind. So we're out one night and it's like, oh my God, Greg, that girl is so cute. Like we should go talk to her. And he would have to say, I think she's cute too. Let's go talk to her. Totally fine, right? If it was a situation where I told him like, hey, I think that boy over there is cute, I'm gonna go talk to him. He's gonna be like, cool, that's fine with me. That's how they think. I'm not saying that I'm not saying we do that or anything like that, but that's how it's done.
no, but I'm saying too, Miko, how do you distinguish or differentiate now? Like you said, that we're in a relationship opposed to we just had a good time, or how do you know the other couple?
Because they'll tell you. Yes. Like, what are your intentions here?
Yeah.
They'll
Okay.
tell you. They just want you
So
to be
they can just say we're in a relationship and that's it.
right. They'll tell you, be like, yeah, I just want to sleep with you guys. Like, I just want us to be a threesome and that's it. Versus like, would you like to join? Think about a cult. Like you go into a cult, they're like, you want to join the cult? They're gonna ask you. They're gonna initiate you in and you come in, right? You're gonna get invited. It's not just a simple term. It's like, oh, if I sleep with him now, I'm in a relationship. That's not it. It can just be a thing where they tell you like, we're just interested only in like hooking up with you a couple of times and like that's that. Like, period.
But Miko, so what do you do if you hook up with somebody a couple times, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the person that you hooked up with and then your mate start catching more feelings than you and that person?
That's what I asked her. She said that they wasn't running that for
I'll
them.
go back and I reiterate. He wasn't mine. He wasn't mine in the first place. So he has to go. He didn't.
Oh.
He didn't abide by our rules in our social contract. He didn't abide by it. So he caught feelings and he went with her. So he was not mine. So he can leave.
So you feel that he was never yours because he started feeling some way about the other person?
He didn't respect our rules. So if you don't respect my rules, you don't respect me. So therefore, I don't want to be with you anymore.
Well,
But
how do you know he was
put
built for that? He may
emotionality-
not have been built for that. He thought he was.
And he's not. And
the other girl put some shit on him. Now he over here.
That's what I mean. He's not for me.
Burnt out like
To be honest, I feel like it's a great setup for both parties. Like if that's what you're into, like nice, my night. I don't pick somebody, you pick somebody. Like if that's the thing, then that's just the thing. I feel like it's no real bad situation. But I would hope that person would tell me instead of being like weird about it. Just like, you know what, Miko, I really enjoy this other lady's company a lot more than I enjoy yours. And I don't know, I no longer want to see you. I would be like, thank you for telling me that. Goodbye. Like we're done finished. As opposed to like me having to find out. If I have to find out about it, then I'm certainly finished. Because you didn't follow the rules. We had rules. I could have broken.
Miko, can you put rules based on your emotion and feelings on a contract paper? I mean, I think feelings and emotionality, those are fluid and they change with time, they change with environment. So it's easy for us to sit in this space and say, oh, if he did this, I do that, right? But can we really do that?
I agree. I do agree that feelings are 100% fluid. And that's why the rules change. It's not contractually bound. It's not one rule. You know what I mean? So if you would go out one night, you just be like, you know what? I didn't like this. I don't think I want to do it anymore. And if they just say like, okay, I understand. Maybe here are our boundaries. You gotta surface the terrain before you can surface boundaries, correct? right? So boundaries change over time. Like if you're in a monogamous relationship, like I don't like it. I don't like how you talk to me like that. Before I liked how you talk to me that way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. There's no rule. There are rules, but instead of rules, let me say boundaries. That's a better terminology. Instead of saying hardline rules, I will say there are boundaries.
Miko, we have a question coming from our Facebook panel, and I just want to make sure that I get everything right. So just bear with me. I have Carmen Edmonds with us, and so Carmen states that this has never been a topic I have ever discussed, especially being raised in a strict Christian household. I was asked about this recently, and admit I had a one-side view. This is good to have an open discussion and to hear others' viewpoints. So here's the question. Can you explain what you would put in your polygamy contract?
Okay, so let me pose an example. I've never been in a polygamous relationship, so I don't know firsthand, so I can't really give you, a for sure word on it. But this is like what I'm understanding it to be, or what I would do if I were to enter one. I would say we would have to state who we're talking to 100% along the lines. So when you are smitten by a person that you would like to deal with, you need to bring that up to your partner. Your partner needs to accept that and be like, you know what? Here, yes, you can deal with this person. If they say no, then you cannot deal with that person. Then you need to be open and honest, saying, okay, I have a date tonight with this person. I'm letting you know that. Here's where we're going. This is what we're going to do. You happen to sleep with that person or do whatever you do, you need to ask that person for permission. Like, not permission, but like agreement first. Like, hey, I would like to sleep with this person. Is that okay with you? And if they say yes, then you can go ahead and do that. If they say no, then that's fine too, right? So the whole thing is that everything is brought to a discussion, to the table for a discourse prior to being acted on. I think a lot of people think that it's like you just you just run the streets and start just sleeping with everybody, and you have a person at home. I don't think it would be, like that. There are many couples in Hollywood who get down like this, and they look at them still married, happy, living life.
Right. Got it. Thank you, Carmen. I hope you had an opportunity to hear that response. So yeah, Eric Morris says that a threesome is every man's fantasy, and he just got to be honest about that. So that
it's not every man's fantasy, and it could be every woman's fantasy. You don't know.
Right. That doesn't necessarily have to. Yeah, I agree.
It can go both ways. Erica said we can go both ways. It could be every woman's fantasy as well. Carmen says thank you. All right.
All right, good evening to everybody out there in the chat. Thanks for joining us. Queen Jean, Mac Rosales, Dennis Bridgewater, Megalicious, Queen, Haitian Queen. We have Dee Dee out there, and
hey, everybody.
And the others. I just want to show love to everybody out there. Much love. Just deep, great conversation topic. We got the we have the younger generation in here, Miss Miko Phillips, and her boyfriend. What's your name, homie, again?
Greg.
Greg. What's up, Greg? Greg just chilling. He ain't really saying much because Miko got it tonight. Miko is everything she say, like homie Flossie say, she stands on it, not around it. That's serious.
Yeah, on and around.
That is Miss Miko for sure.
Go ahead, Lori. Lori seems like Lori's really trying to figure this out. Lori's not. I don't think Lori
am really. Yeah.
I don't think your aunt is really team polygamy.
Well, I mean, I can understand polygamy, right? I think it just takes a super higher level of thinking and awareness, right? Mm-hmm. Because I think that we would have to define all of these rules, and then we'd have to be fluid throughout the process, because at any time my thinking could change, right? I could run into someone, and I think monogamy, and you can agree or disagree, is based on the premise that I met you at this space and time right now, right? Mm-hmm. And you lit my fire and I lit yours. And so we're going to connect, and we're not going to open ourselves up to the opportunity for anyone else to light our fires, right? Because we're going to set boundaries around this relationship. And so I never know what's on the other side, because I'm not going to allow myself to engage that way. The part that's hard for me is when you enter into this polygamous relationship, you are always opening up the opportunities to connect intimately with someone else, right? And so you're bound to find something that might be more interesting, more engaging, and more interesting. That would challenge that foundation. I just know for myself, I'm not the same woman today that I was 25 years ago, right? And I don't see the world or relationships or anything in it through that same lens. So I don't know about the.
That's deep. Mika, not to cut you off, Laura, I want to ask
Go
Mika, what
ahead.
do you think about your aunt saying that? Like, that may be a thing you feel now because you're young, but what about when you get older?
And that's the thing about fluidity, things change, you know what I mean? So you would hope, of course, that you have a partner who can support you in that way. So let's say you get to a point where, you are in a monogamous relationship and you and your partner decide that you want to be polygamous. That's something that you guys are going to, agree or disagree on, right? And you respect each other's boundaries. I do think everybody changes. Like, just in a monogamous relationship, a person is going to change. That's the idea of life. You're going to change. Nothing's like going to stay normalized. Nothing's going to stay the same. Right? So you have to be able to adjust and go kind of with the flow. But if you feel disrespected or you feel that you want to stand your ground, then you stand your ground. And I think sometimes even with monogamous relationships, you can outgrow a person. So, and the person can outgrow you. You know what I mean? So I think if you and your partner communicate very well and you guys are on the same wavelength majority of the time, and I guess you're like soulmates, then I think your partner will give you that freedom, and you in return would also give your partner that freedom in return.
But I keep getting stuck and this is the interesting thing, I think, generationally, right? Because when I was considering marriage or I was considering long-term relationships, it was that stability that I was looking for. It was that contractual agreement that we're going to combine and grow and really build this space of which we could be vulnerable. If I'm entering into a contract or engagement that has no potential stability, right? That it can at any time are continually being threatened, right? So if I'm with JoJo and me and JoJo are together, but we can go see other individuals, how do you establish that firm networking between you and JoJo when you're always intersecting other people into that?
I think that's where, communication comes in.
Okay, Greg.
The importance of being a good communicator. And also, to be honest, the whole polyamorous or, the whole polygamy thing is not for overly emotional people or sensitive people. You gotta kind of have a level head at all times, be a logical thinker. You can't be too emotional or too reactive. You really got to sit down and think before you react, and you say what you want to say or you feel what you want to feel. So in that situation, that's kind of where communication comes into play.
Yeah.
To me.
Question for the panelists: does love play a part in the polygamy scenario?
Yeah, that's your person, is what I'm saying, right? We love each other, so we are going to communicate. We're going to share how we're feeling in these ways, and I'm not going to disrespect his boundaries because I love him. That would be the kind of the mindset. So let's say we were polygamous for like 10 years. Out of nowhere, he's like, I don't want to do this no more. I don't like this no more. I'm done. Then it will be like, you know what? I love my partner this much and I respect him this much. I'm gonna agree. We just are finished with it. We're done, and that's okay. And I think like that's the part. It's like you're not necessarily sharing and opening up anything because the foundation comes down to you two and who you bring in. Right? They're sharing that foundation with you.
Oh, okay. So, like, say, for instance, my man is still the main guy, though, because, like, when you say now you're polygamous, you have open relationship. Who is the main? Like, this other dude might have took over main duties at what time, or you're still the person you started with is still the first. I mean, how does that work?
Right.
You feel me?
So it's like, who's your original boyfriend? Who's your original?
Right.
So I would recommend you guys watch this show called Big Love. It's on HBO. It came out in the early 2000s, and it's about a couple, like a large couple. They're polygamous in Utah, and they're Mormon. So how they set up their polygamous relationship kind of makes sense. It's like a first wife. You have like the second and third wives, right? And he takes care of all of his children, all of his family. They're just literally one big family, and they share this man. So it's like Monday nights he's at my house, Tuesday nights he's at your house, Wednesday nights he's at the other girl's house. It's a schedule. We, household decisions when it comes to money, we all make together. It's just like how it would be with two people, but you're just adding into maybe one or two other people. It's literally the same thing. It's just you're just adding in a couple more.
Make this stuff sound real easy. You make this sound real, like it be real complicated. Make it sound like, hey, it's just what it is. Like I don't know why you guys don't understand.
I have a question.
You have to be very like in tune with your mind before you emotion first.
But Miko, how does? Okay, so we're all humans, right?
Yes.
And we're all vulnerable, and we all have an element of jealousy. So
Yes.
how does jealousy and vulnerability play into this scenario that you just described in Big Love? Because that has to be a component or a factor that's
a normal
that is relevant. So how do polygamist and polygamy families begin to enter that space? I used to watch a show called Sister Wives. You've seen that? And
Yes.
and the little man who had the multiple wives was always in a place of turmoil because the wives were always arguing with each other.
Right, but see, the thing is with their situation, right? They agreed to come into it where it's female heavy as opposed to whatever, right? If I were to be in one, I would propose it where it's like it's evenly gendered. If it's going to be more than one person, right? So if it's four people, or if it's four people, it's going to be two men, two women, that sort of situation. I think if it's heavily gendered in one, that's where the issue of jealousy can come in. And if you want to avoid jealousy, that's something I think you might want to look into, right? But also, some people are not jealous people, you know what I mean? Or they don't react when they're jealous. I won't say that they aren't jealous. It's just some people react differently when they're jealous than others, right? Some people, are very impulsive and they will get violent, or they'll yell, or they will, act or have an attitude. Like everyone's reaction is different to a different stimuli. I'll say.
But so are we talking about in this scenario? I could see how that would work. This polygamous thing would work where we're keeping equal balance. You got two dudes, he got two girls. If they're not relationship, they're just maybe sexual encounters that you're having with people outside of your union. But when you talk about relationship building and family building and all of those things, I don't know how you keep an equal balance in that. Or am I missing that boat somehow?
I think
Because how can you maintain two households over here and then another two households over there? We got 5 households now.
to be honest, I don't think us as humans can keep it completely equal. I think it'll, us as humans will naturally tend to gravitate more towards one, than the other.
Right. But where it comes down to is there's a couple like indigenous populations where it's a very maternal based society, and all the men just help, right? They just help out. It's not a situation where it's like, here's your house, here's your house, here's your house. That was the example on Big Love. In so many ways you can do this, there's just no one way, you know what I mean? So like, let's say, I have 3 husbands and I get pregnant and I have a child. All 3 of them are going to help the kid. We're all one household. We all do it together. If it's the other way around, you know what I mean? He has 3 wives and plus me. We all just jumping in and helping together because we are holding it down because we're all one. It's like a team. It's a team. All that stuff, of course, is going to come into the mix. But if it becomes too much, somebody has to be relinquish or let go. It's not like it's a cult. You don't have to stay involved if you don't want to be involved.
But can I get trapped?
No, that's a cult. That's when it's a cult. You don't have to get trapped.
What I'm saying is, let's say, like, all I can base it on is this show I used to watch, Sister Wives, right? So let's say that he's got 1, 2, 3 households that he's taking care of, right?
Mhm.
And then I feel like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. But I've had 3 or 4 kids with JoJo or with this person. And, you know, we all living here in this big mansion thing together, this compound. How do I find myself being able to break away from that?
That's just the same thing in a monogamous relationship. Let's say you were the husband and you have 4 or 5, 6 kids with him and you don't want to be with him no more. You gotta just, it's the same bout. You're gonna cross the same path. The exact same path. It's gonna be, well, I'll have to leave him. He's gonna have to still pay for the children. He's possibly gonna have to pay the alimony. It's the same process.
Well, Miko, I think me personally, I think like again, you make it sound pretty, simple and things, but I don't think everybody, like every females are different. All female, a lot of females are different, but I just don't think the majority of them are just that, can get it like that. You know what I mean?
It comes down to socialization. I have to break my mind open to, think about. That's why when I watched that show, it really allowed me to open my mind to just understand things differently. And I'm a really deep thinker. So, and I'm very analytical. So things like that, I get. I don't really react emotionally quickly. I react with logic more than I do emotion. So I think for me, it's easier to get. But I think we're just socially trained that way. Like, men are taught to be more logical than women are. Like, socially, you're taught that way in a household. And in a household, women are taught to be emotional. Things are socially, like, thought of. But for me, when I went to college and I was brought, like, enlightened to different things, you got to deconstruct a lot of things you're socialized to lend over to, wow, well, let me think, what are these different lifestyles? What do different cultures do? All those different things. And I like to think of myself as putting my feet in other people's shoes and try to understand and get it of what I would do based off of who I am.
But I think that like you said, that goes on a lot, and we probably just don't know about it. It goes on with a lot of rich people and a lot of people in different atmospheres. We've heard about this, but overall, I think it'll just be kind of people that do that. Like people have their own lane, so you have a lane of people that do that. I don't ever see it like really being just as simple as you make it seem and acceptable, because due to the fact that people people are just not like, everybody's different. So you have people that take stuff deeper. You have people that be in their feelings about lesser stuff than that. So let alone, relationships and other women and female. Then you got men. I know a lot of men personally definitely could not deal with that. They could probably be like, oh, if it's on them, yeah, it sounds good, but they can't deal with a woman dealing with other dudes or something like that. I know that for a fact. I mean, a lot of dudes can't deal with that. So it's like, this is something that's just up for debate, and you will have people that feel that they can deal with it and handle it, and but some can't.
Right. I 100% agree. It all comes down to choice. You know what I mean? Nothing's forced. I think some generations were forced into doing stuff, and nowadays it's like, I don't want to do it. I ain't doing it. As long as I pay my taxes, that's the only thing I have to do in this country. So that's what I'm gonna have to do. Anything else, I don't have to do it if I don't want to. I gotta pay my bills and pay my taxes. Like, that's literally all I'm bound to do. Anything else is my choice. And I think people have to start opening up their minds to understand, you don't necessarily, before you get trapped, of course, you know what I mean? Sometimes you are stuck in a situation. You're not given certain things based off of privilege. But if you have your privileges and you have choices, make your choices. And I think going into a relationship, from the beginning of one, at least, you are allotted the opportunity to make the choices that you want to make.
Right,
and
exactly.
You should prance on that opportunity rather than let it get away from you.
Right. Miss Lori Ray, since we have you here, let me ask you this. I asked your niece this a little while ago, being that they're the younger generation, asked them about marriage and what they think about it in today's climate and opposed to what it was. And she said she respects marriage. Everybody in her family's married. She has great examples, but we all know it's different today. And I want to ask you, being that you were married years ago and your parents were married, same thing. But how do you feel about marriage in 2020, from the generation, from things you've seen to even things you've experienced to what now the younger people deal with, and how it's a whole different ball game and a lot of things going on? I think it's harder to sustain marriage or even be married. But what do you think about marriage in 2020?
I got married, 1,000 years ago, back in 1990, right? And I think when I got married, it was just like it was the expectation, I think, that was set for the generation ahead of me, my parents' generation, is that you, at least in my house, you went to school, you got your education, and then the next step is you get married and then you begin to make a family, right? And that was like the progression that was always taught to us. And I think marriage was, we considered it a contract of, I'm really trying to work through this with you. So there's ups and downs and highs and lows, and we're really going to weather the storm. And, I've been married 30 years and every day hasn't been a lovely day, right? But that you hunker down and you really work through that. What I see through my daughters, I have two daughters. One has been married a year now. She's 28. And then I have one that's 21. And then my two nieces, I mean, they're like my daughters. We're a very close knit family, and they're 24 and 28. I think they are freer in their choices and in their thinking than I think I was when I was their age. I think in 2020, women are waiting longer to get married. You don't see women necessarily getting married at 22, 23, 24 years old as you did back, when I was that age.
Right.
And I think there's not that. I think there's a level, at least in my opinion, a level of freeness and selectivity that didn't necessarily exist when I was getting married. And I don't think they see the institution of marriage as binding as my generation did. I think what I've seen from the younger generation is like, well, if it don't work, well, there's always divorce court, right? We can just stop doing this whenever we want. And I'm not judging that in any particular way. I just was kind of, in my era, it was, you stayed in, you were really in, and you were going to do everything you could before you had to turn your back on it. I'm not saying that's good or bad. I mean, I think sometimes people stay in abusive relationships, they stay in unsafe environments, they stay in a lot of different places for reasons that may not be healthy. But it's all through this thread that is woven through that generation of, you commit to something and you try to make it work.
They said spot on, Lori. A lot of people say they agree. And I don't know.
The question I have is, so Miko, what happens if you in one of these 30-year-old marriages like I've been in, and you wake up one morning and you say, hey, I want polygamy? How do you make that happen?
You just say you want them. You ask. If they say no, they say no. That's literally as good as you get. Just get their choice. Yeah, if they're not down, then they're not down. I mean, that's really all you can do is respect that person's boundaries. Really, that's all it comes down to. I think our generation, marriage is just pushed back because I'm really gonna blame it on this economy. Like, it's just this economy. Like, back then, you graduate from college, give it a year, maybe 2 years, you can get a house, you can get married, you can do those things. Now, like, you got to low-key wait 10 years after you get out of college before you can afford, to get married. And it's just really tricky. It's not the same. It's not the same thing. And I also say, from this generational perspective, Generation X, you guys were the first to start getting divorces. So some of us took, that in consideration as well, where it's like, oh, they don't look like they want to do this no more. So they're not doing it no more. You know what I mean? So it's like kind of each generation just changes as it goes along. And it's like nothing wrong, with anything. I just think that we're just going to have to be a little bit more settled before we get, married. Because we do understand that it's very binding and it's very long term. So, like, I'm not going to just date somebody for like a year and then just jump into a marriage if I don't necessarily feel comfortable with that, or I don't know them well enough. It even comes down to, do I like your family? Does your family like mine? Like, what are your goals?
Yeah, like, do we even get to all that now? Because nowadays people just kind of get in relationships fast because you know, they like each other, attraction and all of that, and then they may have sex, and you know, now it's feelings involved. Now you think you love each other just because you've been smashing, you know, and you don't really know anything about this person, or you may get this girl pregnant now, and it's a whole, you know, it's a lot that people don't even take into consideration. It's
I
just
think that's always been going on down the time. That's gonna always happen. It always has happened.
Yeah, it has, exactly.
Right,
Exactly.
but I think it just depends on, you know, the person. Like we were talking for a long time before before we decided to get into a relationship with one another. It was a while because I wanted to make sure I was ready to be in a relationship, and same for that's his perspective as well. I didn't want to rush anything, and I was very upfront about, you know, where I was throughout every piece of the relationship too. But when, you know, when we're talking at each stage as it goes along. And some complaints from people in my generation is that like they think no one's gonna get married because no one wants to put in the work because they want everything like on demand and like right now. But I just think as long as you're true to yourself and you're true to, you know, if you get into a relationship with somebody and you're true to your partner, like I don't really see why that wouldn't be the case.
Right. Great point. We've got some commentary here from our Facebook viewers. And so Jahi Shabazz says that marriage is growth and it should be about togetherness. And Mika Smith has to say that some people are in a polygamous relationship and they don't even realize it and don't even know it. You know what I'm saying?
Know it. Don't even. And Miko, let me ask you this, because you spoke about, like you said, just per se rich people can do this, but again, it has to be understood because rich people do this. You still see rich people going through their problems as well, where these things break up homes, happy homes, and they may have thought it was good, but it wasn't. And then again, to piggyback off of that, we just seen the recent thing with Will and Jada, which we spoke about. We want to bring up that topic. We have Lori, we have Jackie, and we have Greg. I want everybody's take on the whole Will and Jada thing, because we've heard for years that they've had an open relationship, right? But nobody never really knew. This is the first we really actually heard of anything going on. And when we first heard about this, we were told that Will knew about it and this, that. It was an open relationship. But then we find out later that wasn't the case, that they were separated at the time and this happened. But we see pictures and we see other things that show different, that Will may have knew, or maybe he didn't. Or maybe he just was taking pictures with this dude, didn't know he was sleeping with his wife. We don't know. But what is everybody's take on this whole Will and Jada thing? Red table, whatever.
Red table.
My impression of it was, I do think that maybe they were, you know, during a separation, or they do have an open relationship, because I feel like I've heard that my entire life. And I think Will was fine with it. He didn't really seem bothered in the thing, you know, in the interview. And I think that this young man just got his feelings hurt, and I don't think he really understood that like Will and Jada not going nowhere. Like they're gonna stay married, and you were just her fling. You were her what is it said, entanglement? You were her entanglement, basically.
Right.
It wasn't unreal. Who knows who Will deals with? I just think
I'm sure Will was been
non-disclosure agreement.
No, I think Will has been doing his thing. We know that. That's why Jada said, I mean, we understand that. But again, it's a problem when it's on the shoe is on the other foot. When the female does this, it's like, oh, buddy. You know what I mean? I think it's harder for a guy to accept, even though he may have been doing the same thing.
It sounds to me like men are the more possessive, and we're trying to blame it on women being more possessive.
What do you think about that?
I'm sorry, Mika. What was that again?
Laura, you laugh. What do you?
People are just a little bit more possessive.
Say it again.
I agree with that personally.
You agree that women are more? I mean, men are more possessive.
The proof is in the evidence. When you look how it's treated when one gender does it versus how it's treated when the other gender does it, the proof is in the actions right there. Men are showing that they're more possessive because they have a problem when the lady does it. They could sleep with 100 women, 3 or 2 or even 1, and it's like the end of the world. So that screams it right there.
That's true. Well, I have not seen the Will and Jada interview situation.
You just heard about it?
I just heard about it. Yeah. But I see I was looking at these comments. They said, poor Will. Dee Dee Harrison said he looked so sad in the interview. I think he just sat back and accepted it. I love, is it Alanis? But he should have kept his mouth shut.
What's his name? Yeah, what's that dude's name?
I don't think so.
What's his name?
Always Alcina?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think he did keep. I think what happened was this happened years ago. So I think from what I've been hearing is that maybe they were paying him off or something. And I don't know what it was for him to now speak out and do a whole interview. I feel the same way. You don't kiss and tell, but again, I don't know what this situation here is. It seems more August Alsina. It seems a little bit deeper than we all may know because this happened years ago. Like even when it first came out, Jada said, I haven't seen him in years. So this happened years ago, but it's obviously been top secret, and he felt he had to get it off his chest for whatever reason.
I remember I would always see him in the pictures. I swear, like it was like 2015, 2014. I'm 26. This is weird. It's like, and then like Jada was helping him because he was sick. My mom and I was like, they're definitely a thing. Like, why are he always dead? Nothing makes sense. And then all that he spilled the beans in his interview, and I was like, it makes sense. I get it now. Like it was to me, it was very obvious. I think everyone knew about it. I really did. So I was like, I don't think that Will should not have come on there. Like, I think him not coming on there would have been worse personally.
What do you feel about even Jada? Do you feel she felt she had to do that? She had to bring it to Red Table Talk because everybody was talking. We got to bring this out. What do you feel about her? Not only August speaking on it, but her speaking about it. Do you feel it was for like maybe they felt they just had to do it, which was good. Now that you look at it, now there's no room for speculation, rumors, and August can't really say whatever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It was a good thing. But what do you feel about that? Her coming out and August speaking about it.
I think August got his feelings hurt.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, and he just told he should have had him sign a non-disclosure agreement. That's what I think.
Right. Obviously, they didn't do that. That's what I think happened too. It was obviously some stuff going on here deeper than we know. And August was like, okay, to hell with this. I'm gonna air this out.
He probably fell in love with her. She was like, I'm married to Will Smith. I'm not leaving him for you.
In the interview, he said,
I'm sure he did. August Alsina has like 2 songs though. Like I would never leave Will Smith. August Alsina, like get out of here.
Right. Yeah.
Like it would never happen.
There you go.
Hey, Laura, you see anything in the comments that grabs you?
Let's see. Oh, well, Mac Rosales says, I think for divorce, I'm pretty sure it was the boomers that started doing divorce. Generation X took care of a little bit more to the extreme, but I agree with you. And then Dennis Bridgewater says, I hope the Fresh Prince don't watch Jason Lyrics with Jada because she was getting her back blown out on the corner.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Damn.
And then Haitian Queen says Jada shouldn't have messed with him.
Oh, she should have never.
Didn't know no better. She just, probably go.
I feel like it's hard to know this. Like maybe Will has girls and he got them signed to NDAs, where it's like you will not tell nobody because it's just not going to happen. Or who knows what we don't know.
In this day and time, you have to sign. I mean, I'm talking about those people who, I think it's a must. You have, like, I think the youngsters do it. Like I heard of the younger artists doing that when they bring people in or girls in, they have them leave their phones or whatever at the door and sign disclosures, everything. I guess me, if you're gonna deal in these type of things, you have to do that.
But wasn't it like public knowledge Will and Jada had an open marriage?
That's what I said.
So why is this incident so significant?
Because when it came out, this seems that wasn't the case. When they came to Red Table Talk, whatever it's called, Will said it wasn't an open. He said they were separated when it happened. It didn't have anything to do with an open relationship. They were separated.
Okay, let's just think about this as if we're in their shoes, right? You're in a separation in your marriage. Your wife starts bringing around a 22-year-old boy all the time everywhere with you, saying that she helping him because he's sick. And you mean to tell me you don't have any speculation of what's going on? No, that's not
that's what
true. It
happened?
doesn't make sense.
Wow.
You just gonna let
She's
your
telling
friend
me
run around with a 23, 24-year-old? Lori and my mom just gonna
Wow.
let Eric and my dad run around with a bunch of 20, 24, 22-year-olds?
No. Mm-mm.
Thank you.
No.
I think, yeah,
It also
they
No.
had to know.
it also kind of blew up, I think. Well, it was already going to blow up. It also blew up in addition because when he first came out with it, Jada and Will said, "Oh, that's not true. He's lying."
Right.
And then they turned around a few days down the Red Table Talk, and it turns out that itself was a lie, and he was telling the truth. You know, I feel like if they're going to do the Red Table Talk anyways, if they know what happened, they might as well just go up to it then.
See, that's the thing. It's also about press, right? And publicity. So they're different. They're living in a different way than we are. Think about the Kardashians. They have lived an entire damn near 15-year empire on being able to manipulate the way the press comes out. And whether you tell the truth or you lie, whatever, as long as it's on my show and you come and watch it, I'm gonna make my money. So it comes down to publicity as well. And they know it's from the Kardashians in that way.
So this was leaked on the Red Table Top show?
No, it was leaked before. August Alsina had his interview, and he broke the internet with he came out and talked about it in some interview. I don't even know what interview that was, who he was with, but that's what happened first. So I guess Jada felt, okay, let me bring this to her own show, Red Table Talk, where they talk about stuff like this all the time. She brought herself, right, if I'm correct, Miko, to the Red Table to interview herself, or Will interview her.
While Will was there.
Yeah, he interviewed her.
Okay. He had to know prior, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Miko, hold on. Miko, you have some feedback. I don't know. Check. I don't know if you could tap out and tap in just to clear it up, because before we continue, I want everybody to hear you clear. Do you hear that, Lori?
I can hear her. Say something, Miko.
No, did you hear any feedback?
No, I don't hear any feedback.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe that's me. Okay, go ahead, Lori. Miko, my bad.
I definitely feel that but it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. I think people are having that problem because I think it will be that big of a deal. Like we're used to the constipation and things, and when a woman does it, it's a big deal. I think it comes down to. What do you think?
Yeah, people definitely got used to. Kind of goes back to
I think my sound is messed up. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Can you
Can you hear me, Lori?
I can hear you, G-Lew. I think
that's what I was saying. I think something's going on with Miko's thing over there.
No.
When you hear Miko, do you hear it kind of chopped up? I hear it choppiness.
That's what I heard before. That's what I was saying, but nobody else heard it. So
it sounds fine to me, but I can't.
Can Miko? Can you do this? Can you log out, go out, and come right back in? So maybe that'll clear it up. Try to do that. Yeah, because I think that's what I heard, Lori. That's what I was asking you, but you said
I didn't hear it before. But when you left and went out, then all of a sudden Miko started being really choppy. I couldn't hear her.
Okay, yeah,
and I didn't know if it was my connection or her connection.
No, that's what I heard already. I just let it go because I thought maybe it was me. So I think now it should be okay.
Yeah, Megalicious says that she can hear Lori, but she think it's Miko's connection.
Okay.
So
all right, Miko.
Should be okay.
Yeah, says that she can hear Lori, but she thinks it's Miko's.
Yeah, I hear feedback. I don't know.
Are we okay now?
Hold on a second.
It's Miko's. I hear feedback.
Yeah, feedback, Miko.
Are we okay now?
Hold on a second.
Yeah, do you hear that, Lori?
I do hear the feedback.
Yeah, we got
do you think
feedback,
it's me?
Miko.
Do you want me to come out and come back in?
No, that's that thing. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, that's Miko because I muted her and it went off. Hey, hold on. Can you hear me, Jackie? Jackie. Hold on. I don't know what's going on. Hello,
feedback?
Lori.
Yes.
I can hear you clearly. I don't
You
know
can hear
what.
me clearly. I
Yeah,
can hear you clearly.
I don't know what's going on here. Jackie,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Jackie.
you're a little
Okay.
choppy, but I can hear you though. Let me see if Miko.
Is it better for you now?
Hmm. What do you hear, Lori?
Feedback.
I don't know.
Can you hear me?
What do you hear,
Yeah.
Lori?
I hear a little choppiness. Say it again, Jackie.
You're a little choppy, but I can hear you though. Let me see if Nico.
I have feedback now.
Yeah, I don't know where
Is
the
it still feedback?
feedback is
Let
from.
me hear it, Lord.
I think both of you guys got to
Leave.
check out and check in. Miko
Okay,
and
I'm
Lori.
gonna leave.
No, not Lori. Okay, Jackie, speak. Let me see.
Yes, G.
Okay, I can hear you now. I don't
How are
know.
you?
I'm good.
Can
I
you
hear
hear me
you
well?
clearly. Yeah, I hear you clearly. I don't know what's up. Mhm.
It always gets a little weird around this time. I don't
Yeah, it
understand. I
does.
don't know if it's more of a, it's just the systemic, I'm
That's
supposing.
just the devil. The devil is a liar. Devil, you will not bring your punk ass on here tonight and disrupt this damn stream we have going on. You will not do it, devil.
Nope.
Back up,
We're
back up,
having a good time.
back up.
Yeah,
For
it's
real.
all
That's what that
good.
is. That's
It's
the
all
devil.
good.
But he won't stop this tonight. It's Tuesday Night
Never.
Live with Miss Jackie Ray Phillips and G-Lew. We have Miss Miko
Yeah,
up here. What's up, Miko?
we have
We're
going
having
on.
a
I hear
good
Hey,
time.
y'all.
feedback.
Back up,
I don't
back
know
up.
what that is. You hear that, Jackie?
Is it good now?
Okay, there it is. Yeah, that's good. Good, good, good.
Oh,
There it
goodness.
is. I don't know what you did, but that was it.
That was crazy.
Okay, Jackie, are you there? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay, everybody's good. All right, all right, all right, all right.
We had a little razzle dazzle there for a
Feel better,
moment, huh?
DD. Yeah, no, okay. I'm just reading these comments. Okay, we got Big Tapper checking in. Introduce Big Tap,
Hey,
Jackie.
Tap. How you doing, Big Tap? How you doing, sir?
Oh man, you know what, man? They got me running around here like a chicken, man. Listen, sorry guys, man. I'll be trying to, get things done so I can get
him now.
He said he don't want to be seen. You don't want to be seen, huh, Tap? You're an invisible man tonight.
Why can't I be seen?
We can't see you, so you don't want to be seen. I can't see him either. Oh, okay. I thought he wanted to be invisible.
No, I don't know
I
why
can't see you, Tap. Oh, there you go.
Okay, now we can.
You had to cut that light on or whatever you did, man. That's Big
Put some
Tapper.
light on.
He's in the NYC, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Tap, have you been able to listen to the conversation? Do you know what we have going on here? Are you aware?
No, I heard Miko. I heard Miko earlier talking about some relationships like
No,
some
it was
crazy.
deeper than relationships. It's polygamy versus monogamy.
Polygamy, yeah,
It's
that's
deeper
what I
than
heard.
relationships. This shit is deep. We over here in the 8 or 9 foot, 10 foot end over here. We're in the deep end.
You know what? This Miko, I'm gonna listen to this when I get a chance to the whole show because I heard when I came on earlier you was getting real deep on me. And who's the soldier next to you, Miko?
That's
This is my boyfriend, Greg.
That's Big G. That's little G right
What's
there,
up,
man. G
Yo,
said put
man?
some respect on it. Nah, I'm
Yeah,
that's G right there. What's up, Greg? Much love, homie.
I saw
What's
Greg
up?
by the pool at Lori's house last week when I
Oh,
saw some pictures.
okay.
Greg there, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was him.
Yeah.
Hey, the Greg. All right, Greg. Rest. Don't get it twisted now. I'm always over here. Twisted.
I'm Uncle Tap now from the NYC with that family. I'm Uncle Tap. Greg, man. Anything listen to
Greg got him a real one.
Family, Greg.
Hey.
But listen, Uncle Tap. That's my niece right there, big dog. Take care of her.
I think she can handle her own, man. I don't think you've been listening. Like this girl right here, she ain't worried about none of that. I think she can handle her own, Tap. I think she's in good hands, bro. She's good. She's good. Miko the real deal.
I told y'all. This one here.
Miko.
She's
gonna be all right, Tap.
Where my people's at? Where Lori G?
Lori just tapped out. I don't know what happened to Lori. She checked out. She thought it was her sound, but she was good. Yeah. She'll probably come back in.
They get ready to come down, man. I just wanted to holler at y'all and give you a shout out, yo. Can I come in next week, G?
Yes, sir. You come in anytime, Tap. You're always welcome, bro.
My man. Nice talking to you, Jackie. I love you, sweetie. Nice seeing you.
I love you too, big guy. Thank you so much.
I'm gonna see you and Greg later on. I'm gonna go home and check out. All right. Yeah. Cool. That's the cool thing about it. If I miss something, I can go right to it.
That
like,
part.
I'll put that joint up like 15, 20 minutes right after it's over, right?
That part. Yes, sir.
That part, yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's a good thing.
Thank you, Tab. Love you, big homie.
Love you too, big homie. I'll talk to you, man. Thanks a lot.
For sure. Peace, man.
Later, man.
That's Big Tap, ladies and gentlemen.
Tapper, big
tapper, dapper tapper.
Man,
making them tap out.
Ride.
Yeah, it's been a while, right?
G-Lew, are you thinking about polygamy? Is that something you
nah,
consider?
I ain't even that far in the game, man. I'm just like, I'm trying to just, you know, I ain't even that far in the game yet, man. You feel me? I got to get to monogamy, then, you know, so many, you know, I'm just trying to just serve God and be the best man I can be right now. That's all I'm gonna do, and then everything else will fall in place.
Right.
But respect everybody, whatever their wishes are, whatever they choose to do. Much respect. Just respect everybody involved in that party. And respect yourself, and everything will go well. Thank you, Haitian Queen. Yeah, I just that's what I think. You know, I love getting the perspective from everybody. And Miko, I definitely enjoyed you tonight. You and your better half, Young G over there. Because you know, I just love how you were really open-minded and really stood on it, what you were saying, and really had backed it up with facts and your opinions, and really not scared to touch on any topic and be straight up about it. You know, I really appreciate that.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, we'll love to come back for another show or something.
Oh yeah, yeah. We got to have you back, Miko. For real. All the ladies, all the people in the comments really appreciate you and really showing love to you and Greg. So yeah, it's all love.
It's good.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Jackie Ray.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and take it over.
And I don't even know, y'all. I'm being wild and razzle dazzle. I've got to learn to just keep it a little more calmer. But anyway, we've had some.
Lori Ray said he can't get back. Why can't you get back? Oh, let me give her the link right here. Because we need to bring you back. What's up, Tanine Johnson? We got Dallas, Texas. What up, Tanine? There's a link, Lori Ray, and anybody else who wants to join us, you can come on in. You feel me? We got G. See, we got G all by itself. The ladies asked earlier, we want to hear more from Greg. You know what I mean? So there he is. There go to homie Greg right there. You want to ask him any question, ladies? Ask him anything you need to ask him. You know what I mean?
All ears.
There he is right there. He's all ears. Ask him what you need to ask. I don't know if you can see the comments on me. Let me bring in Miss Lori G. Okay, Lori, you didn't have to go anywhere, Lori. You were good. Well, welcome back.
I made it back.
Welcome back.
And I got a visitor.
Oh.
It's baby.
PG.
What's up, Gabriel?
PG.
Say hi, Greg.
Hi, Gabriel.
Oh, there's Miko. Say hi, Miko.
Hi,
You see Miko?
See my mommy.
He's going to go look for his mommy.
Uh-oh.
Go get your mom.
Yeah.
So I saw you guys had Big Tap come in. What was his
Big Tap. He was looking for. He came in here looking for you. He was looking for Lori. He's like, "Where's Lori? Where'd Lori go?" He was looking for you. That's all he came. You were here, so he left.
He left. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Was he for monogamy or polygamy?
He actually did not say. He did, Jackie? He just came in.
He pled the fifth, I feel like.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, he didn't really.
He pled the fifth. Oh wow.
He didn't really say.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We've gotten some real big support here for polygamy.
So polygamy is winning.
I think polygamy is winning. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I haven't really seen anyone take a strong stand for monogamy.
I haven't seen anybody take a strong stand on either side. I think people just had their opinions and said what they felt, what back and forth. I don't really feel I felt the strong support on either side. I don't know.
I just don't know how many people could really handle it like they think they do. I don't know if everybody really can. It might sound good, but if you're actually in it, you're in the nitty gritty, and you're actually in that situation, I don't know if they can really.
And then you got people that probably in a relationship right now that can't really like they that's not, you know what I mean? Like I can't.
They scared to say what they
can't.
really want to
They
do.
like they may say but no, I can't say that, man.
They're like, I
Yeah,
can't say
You
that.
got that. Nah, right,
because they might feel like if they say it's gonna mess everything up,
right.
you know, they may already be on the rocks here. Who knows? That may
But
be-
they say to thy own self be
Right.
true, right, guys?
Yeah.
You guys should read these comments. Megalicious says I was postponed a proposition a few weeks back by a married couple that I'm friends, the wife with, to go to get to know them better. And then Haitian Queen says, I'm willing to have conversations. Don't know if I.
Don't know.
And Megalicious says, I know a lot of people that are in poly life. It's very big in Las Vegas. Did you guys know it was big in Las Vegas?
I could imagine. I didn't know, but I can imagine it is.
I
can definitely imagine it.
Why would you imagine it be so big in Vegas?
Because Vegas is what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So we don't get to hear about it.
That part, huh? That part.
Yeah.
You just act like nothing.
Queen says, I'm down for it. You go, Haitian Queen. She's stepping out. She said, I'm down for it.
So I think we have a lot of people out there that are open to this, but probably won't just say it, you know. And then you have a lot of people, you know. I think it's just split down the board. I just see it hard for it to work with people that aren't already open-minded to that. If you are open-minded to that, is great. But people that aren't, I think that'll be a hard battle because I don't think it should be. I think again, like I said earlier, it's a lane for everything. So that lane is open for people that want to travel down that lane. But I don't think it's something that's ever going to be made or forced on people that don't believe in that. If you get what I'm saying.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I like to vote. I
Vote.
would like to cast a vote.
Okay.
I'm going to put my vote in the polygamy.
Shit.
I'm
What has come over you? What has come over you? What has come over you, Jackie? Earlier, you were pro-monogamous.
I'm a polygamy gal now.
Oh wow.
And I'm saying that because
Okay.
hi,
Gabriel said he got
Dennis.
something to
How
say.
you doing?
You hear him saying hi, Jackie.
I do, girl. I hear him. And I just want it to be that way. I'm thinking, let's just, people have been in monogamy.
Are you ready for that though? Are you ready for that? I don't think you're ready for that. You just talking.
G-Lew says she ain't cut like that.
You ain't cut like that.
She
You
ain't
just talking.
cut like that.
Stop it. You just talking. Okay. We don't believe you.
I think that's so unfair.
We don't believe you. We don't believe you, Jackie. Do you believe her, Lori?
Let me try to get my own.
Well, let's listen to her argument. Let's listen to her argument first. Let's see what facts does she have.
She don't believe that shit. She's trying to take up for you. Go ahead, Jackie. Let's hear her argument. She's just helping you out. That's big sis. She got your back. I got your back, baby sis.
Look, Haitian.
Go ahead, let me hear what you got to say.
Polygamy. Go, Haitian Queen. Okay, what is it? We're listening. What's your position? Yeah, you. What's your position?
No. I was just thinking that people, open-mindedness. You can look into it nowadays. I think polygamy may be a way to go. I'm just saying it's something to consider. Earlier, and I had some IG conversations, and people were saying that it's about being cared for, and the more love one can give and receive, why not? I mean, just throwing it out there.
Right.
So, G-Lew, are you a polygamist too?
I just told you earlier, I ain't that far in the game yet. I'm not. I ain't ready for all that. I'm not even gonna jump out there like that.
What?
No.
Talking about the ratio, the man to female, the man-woman ratio, guys. We got to look at that.
Exactly. Now, I'm glad you said that, Jackie. Look.
Not the man-woman ratio.
I'm in ATL right now, right? I'm in Atlanta, and it's like 10 to 20 to 1. I don't know the statistics.
But it ain't fair because
female to male. It's like it's a lot, man. It's like at least 5, 6 to 1.
Really?
Greg, it's serious
Greg's
out
from
here.
Atlanta, so I was
Yeah,
asking.
so you know then, Greg. You a
Yeah,
youngster, but you know what's happening. It's 5. I'm just here right now, but it's like the numbers are high opposed to the
Come on,
men.
Atlanta is the black man's mecca. What are you
Mecca.
talking
Hey,
about?
hey, Greg,
G-Lew, Greg.
Greg, speak on it, Greg.
Yeah. You know, grew up in Atlanta. Every time I'm out there, I have a blast. You know, I moved out there in 05. Just came back here 2018. You know, it's a very black city. You know, the black people there are doing very good.
I'm talking about the women and men ratio.
I went there last summer. It was just so fun. The meals are delicious. The strip clubs are even better than the meals. I love it. I don't live there, but I liked it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a place I'll frequent.
Right. Got you.
So
I did not know that many women are there. You would
But I
think
was just saying, but really what I was speaking on is the ratio of women to men in Atlanta. You know, I've heard about it. I'm here with it, but it's like 10, maybe. I don't know. I don't want to say the wrong.
well,
But
good for you. That sounds great.
10 to 1, something like that.
So are we moving now to like that concept of sharing a man? Is that
no, I'm
is that
just
what
no,
we're saying?
I'm just what we're speaking on. I want to throw out the numbers out there, Lori. That's all. But
Oh, okay.
again,
remember, like
I don't know.
So what I'm hearing is like a black woman in Atlanta. If there's not a lot of black men there, that they're either gonna have to leave, go somewhere else, deal with a man with multiple women, or get a man who's not black.
The last part, I don't know.
Lori, it's getting wild out here. I have a black man, so I'm fine about it. But black women who are educated are not like giving black men that much as you think. So many like I've had to have this conversation with a lot of my friends where it's like, girl, like if you bring home a white man or a man who's not black, it's okay. It's okay.
I mean, you should bring home a person that you can cohabitate with. In my opinion, color shouldn't matter. They can be polka dotted, but if you can build a life with them,
yeah, you can. I just have fears.
Nico, you a straight G. I respect. Nico,
I just have fears of, I just have a lot of fears about this. I say there's certain non-black populations where it's like, okay, I can think about this. Like Latinx men, I feel like that's okay because they have a lot of Afro. They have a lot of basically African in them anyway, so I feel like I can get in the ground in that more. Asian men, no, because they're very racist. Same with white men, that's a huge no. Like maybe Polynesian men, because I feel like they would understand it a little more. Like races where they're close proximity to blackness, I think I can really understand a little more. But I say it's a big no for white men. That's a huge big no.
Nico, that is
Greg, how
a
you deal with
generalization. Do you hear yourself right now?
I do hear myself. Lori,
how you do it?
What is that?
I've been on the road. I understand. I know them, and I'm good.
All white men's life don't exist and are governed by what you saw on the road.
Lori, the thing about it is,
you can't make a huge generalization like that.
It'll be coming. Yeah. I'm gonna get called a bed wench, and then I'm gonna be looking dumb. How can I be with a white man? That just doesn't work.
But I love Miko. Megan Lissy said, "I love Miko." Miko, you need your own show, Miko. You need your own show for real. Real talk. I think you need your own show, Miko.
Yes, she does.
Yeah, you gotta get your daughter hooked up. You gotta hook her up, man. She need her own show. On my mama, she need her own show. For real.
Oh, Miko.
You can't be the bed wench, Miko.
No. Okay, so Tamara Mowry, she's married to a white man. And like when Trayvon Martin died, I think her husband said something that was really insensitive or something like that. And then when she got married to him, I think too, somebody was calling her a bed wench. And I was just laughing because I'm like, that's what they're going to call you. Get used to your name. I called her a white man's whore. And it's like, they're going to call you that all the time, girl. And you better get used to it.
Wow.
It's
all
true.
I can say is wow.
I don't know, Miko.
a lot of bad things.
You know what, Miko? You know I got your back, but I cannot support that position. I cannot.
It's just a white man. I don't
cannot support that position.
I feel like I'm gonna get raped. I'm scared of him. Truly. It's the truth.
You know what? I am rarely speechless.
I'll be right back.
Rarely. I can't leave, G-Lew. What is that?
Speechless right now. It's true.
It gets hot in the kitchen, and where did he go? Right?
Right.
Man. The reason I say this is because of the historical connotations of white men dealing with black women. I've written a lot of papers on this. I've done a lot of research. When it comes to miscegenation, specifically with black women and white men, it is just not a safe space. Black women just are not safe. A white man can rape a black woman and nothing will happen to them at all. A black man rapes a white woman, he's on the pole of lynch in a second. You know what I mean? So for me personally, I just don't feel safe with them. I just don't. I'm not saying all are like that. I won't say, I just don't trust it. It would take me a long time to really be like, wow, I trust this. Because I'm like, is your family racist? Like, what's going on with this? Mm-hmm. Are you fetishizing me? Are you fetishizing? You want some mixed kids? Like, what's going on here? Like, I just don't feel like I can get the ground on that. And I really do feel like my ancestors
develop fetishes centered around a mixed race relationship.
Yes, Lori. Yes.
They
do. The white girls are like, I can't wait to have a mixed baby. And then the white boys are like, well, white men are not as like vocal about it. They'll come to you. They'll gravitate towards you
amongst each other.
Yeah, they're not going to publicly be like, oh, where are the black women at? They don't do that because it makes them look bad socially.
I've seen it on social media where a black girl was, dealing with a white man, and she stumbled upon like his group chat, I guess, or whatever, with his friends who were also white, and the way they were talking about her, man.
I have
you guys remind me of this skit that was on Saturday Night Live about 25 years ago with Eddie Murphy, and he dressed up like a white person, and he got on the bus. And all the stuff that white people do when the black people aren't on the bus, that it was hilarious. They had fine dining and China and all of these things when the black people weren't there. So you guys think it's that type of thing, right? That when the black people aren't there, they're like,
oh yeah, they get loose.
Black people.
They're cutting loose.
What you think?
They're letting the Confederacy fly out of their mouths. They're just having fun.
Not the Confederacy.
Yeah, they're just loose as a goose with it. I really do think so. Not all of them, but also like, see, I've dealt with a lot of microaggressions. I can't say that I dealt with a very macro level of racism where I'm walking down the road and they're like, look at that N-word. Like, never happened to me. But I've had a lot of microaggressions. One time in high school, we were like sliding down the banister, just being kids, having fun. I was in like 9th grade. This girl told me, this is a white girl, she said, Miko sliding down that thing that fast and she got all that chicken grease on her. That's so racist. It's not blatantly calling me the N-word, but that's extremely racist.
Absolutely. That absolutely.
So what if my mixed friend, she couldn't eat. So, okay, everyone else, her family's white, and she's mixed, and her siblings. Her grandmother would make them eat out of separate chip bowls. So the black kids, the mixed ones had to eat out of another bowl than the white kids. The grandma treated, yes, Lori, the own grandma treated her kids, her grandchildren like that. And she disowned her son. My friend's dad got disowned by the family for like 10 years because he married a black woman.
Wow.
Maybe these are horror stories, but
those are horrible stories. But I still say that they are not indicative to the entire race of white people.
I'm reading a book right now called The History of White People. And it's really illuminating my mind to different things. I'm just so like, let me
you need more illumination. I think you were quite illuminated.
I'm gonna get you right now. I'm gonna get the name of this author for you. A black woman. I read this book in my studies. I didn't read the book in my studies at SC, but it was recommended that I did. Let me find it. It is so good, you guys. Okay. I learned so much from this woman because she was just speaking facts on and on. Like, it's really from the inception of like where they come from in Europe, like from the very beginning. Mm-hmm. We're just in a different space right now, and I think that I've always been very pro-black, 100% pro-black. I don't think there's nothing wrong with it.
Oh, absolutely not. I think you have to be, pro-black, but I don't know. To me, that's a big step to be anti-white.
It's not anti-white. I just don't want to date one. I have white acquaintances, but I don't want to date one. It's like, I wouldn't even say preference. I just don't trust them. It's my trust. I have trust issues. 400 years of slavery will do that to you.
I think it will. Okay.
Mm-hmm. There's no diss or nothing. Some white people are really nice and they're real cool. Like, they really get it. Like, white people who are raised with a lot of black people and they understand, a lot of the issues we are confronted with. But the amount of times I see that versus the very privileged white people is slim to none.
Now, could you have a mixed race polygamous relationship?
Yeah, that's possible. That sounds like a lot of brawling going on.
What'd you say?
It's a lot of brawling, like a lot of brawls going on with that.
A mixed race.
You think so?
It's a lot of mental gymnastics with that one.
Okay, can you give the details on it? Or like, what
Well, I mean, you said that polygamy, that's our topic for tonight, right? So I'm African American and my partner's African American, but then maybe he finds an Asian American that he's interested in, and I find me a Latino American that I'm interested in, and then he finds maybe a white American. And so now we got a lot of different people in our little group here.
Let's just hope everyone's pre-screened and passes the non-racist test, and then it could work.
No, but listen, because you spoke about earlier, like rich people or rappers or ball players, mainly like ball players. They go out here, they get white women. That's what they do. You know what I mean? And have make them marriages or relationships or kids and etc. So what do you say about that part? That's your black man.
In my opinion, yeah, when it comes to black men specifically in interracial dating, I think a lot of it comes down to, this is sparking a whole nother conversation. It comes down to the idea of white patriarchy. And I think a lot of the time black men want it, but white men are not going to allow them to have it. So I've heard a lot of black men say, like, when I'm with a white woman and when a white man doesn't care, I know racism is over.
Right.
And we've never got to that point in America so far. So Eldridge Cleaver even said that, a part of the Black Panther Party. So if your agenda of racial indifference would be, oh, everything's okay when I have a white woman and nobody cares, and that's fine, right? Malcolm X used to think the same thing. That's like a whole nother, that's a whole different conversation. But I think a lot of the time when it comes to interracial dating, black men it's no self-love for themselves. They don't really love themselves, and they want the access to things that white men have. So they think having a non-black woman will help them achieve that at times.
Right.
What do you think?
I think that's deep right there. I think everything you said is true, and then I think sometimes you may have speaking on black men, that you may have somebody that who we may not know their background, how they grew up or whatever. So them dating a white woman or having a relationship is no problem, so I think it's looked different upon. I think sometimes it deals with love. Who you love is who you love. But I do think at the end of the day, on a black standpoint, from being a black man, that even people that don't know any better, or people that do, or people that may have grew up in different surroundings where they feel it's no problem, they don't know that from a black standpoint that they will not be looked the same as when you deal with the families, or the deep, when it goes deeper, it gets deep, that they may not know, that they may have a rude awakening for, but they may just be in love, and see love, but I do think nowadays it seems that things are changing where you do have a lot of more interracial relationships. I don't know. I don't know that right there is a deep conversation topic right there.
I think we're not reverting back. I think the idea of what black men are attracted to goes in waves. Like it'll be like, oh, like we like chocolate girls, we like light skinned girls, we like white girls, we like Latin girls. Like it just goes like that. And I think now we're in a space where like a lot of Black men are like really like, I like Black women. Like I'm starting to see that a lot more, which is rejuvenating, and I think it's great, and I'm loving it. I think it's awesome personally, because growing up, like all the men in my family like love Black women. Like I never really understood Black men not liking Black girls until I got to high school. And it was like all over Twitter. It was like Black guys were so mean to Black girls, like mean. It got to the point where it was like beyond the whole light skin, dark skin thing. It went down to straight up like they don't like no Black girls at all. So it was just a rough time to be a Black girl. And then when I got around like 2015, 2016, everything just changed and everybody liked Black girls again.
Like you said, it's probably phases and people just. I mean, I think it is because I'm gonna be truthful. I've seen it from different standpoints. I'm not gonna speak on anybody particular. I know what I like. I love Black women, but I love all women, but I love my Black women definitely. You know what I'm saying? But you have people like I have a brother, right? I'm gonna just keep it real. I have an older brother, and all he dates is white women. You know what I'm saying? And that's his preference, and it's no, we've spoken about this before, and and I don't have a problem with that. It's just that even with him, I've had issues because I want him to just be able to say, okay, that's what you prefer, and that's cool, but do you respect your Black women? Like our mom is Black. Do we? It was a deep conversation to where all he prefers is white women, and there's no problem, but I want to just dig deeper and see where this comes from first. You know what I mean? Because it's no problem. You can love who you want to love, but I think it's like you just said, it's deeper issues that go on in people's mental, which why they do what they do. And it's okay to love whoever you want to love, but you have to love the people, and especially Black people. We have to just love ourselves first, and I think that's the problem with us. We don't love ourselves. Maybe we don't know it, but we don't love ourselves.
I mean, I don't see a problem with interracial dating for other people to do it. I just personally don't want to, and it's like not a big deal. But I think that if you are going to date women who are outside of your race, just don't bash the women in your race. Like,
that part. That's what I was getting at. That's the part I was getting at.
Black gorilla, whatever, because you don't like Black girls. Like that's unnecessary. You don't need to do that. Because white men don't like other races do never demean their women.
Never.
They don't like them for whatever reason, right?
That's what I was getting at.
Resentment towards Black men and women. I think because the absence of Black men and families due to prison and other institutional, things. I think a lot of Black men are raised to have a lot of resentment towards Black women, and they seek that escape through women who are not Black.
And
go ahead, Jackie.
No, please go ahead, G.
No, I was just gonna say, being a Black man, I don't know what it is, but I think some people have it's a mental thing, and then we have so many things, especially nowadays with social media, what people may assume or want to be or what they think, or maybe you have people. I look at it like this. With people that do that, I think that it's a deeper issue. Maybe they may have had problems with women as they were younger, coming up, where the girls didn't think they were cool or cute or whatever, and maybe they just only got love from other people. You know what I mean? I think it's a deeper issue when you go that deep to say you only deal with a certain race or certain people.
When I'm done, we only have.
I think it's a deeper issue than what is on the surface.
Right.
Go ahead, Jackie.
I agree.
Yeah, recently I had a guy, make a comment about, Black women would never do that. A Black woman, you show me a Black woman that'll, mow her lawn. I've never, and I'm like, this one guy said this to me, and I'm like, first of all, you shouldn't generalize what a Black woman will or will not do. And this is another Black man, and it just really kind of hurt my feelings. And I explained to him, like, I mow the lawn, I water the lawn, I wash cars, I'm down. And I think I hear a lot of like negative like that, Black women don't do this, or let me show you a Black woman that won't do this or that. I really hate those generalizations, you know what I'm saying? Because each person is different.
Exactly. And I think that goes again to personal or just when you speak, just speaking without thinking, because I don't think anybody really like you can't judge anybody. I think on, you know what I mean? Everybody is different, and no matter what race you are, you don't know
Yeah.
how that person comes with all loves. That's why I said before too, like speaking on races and all that. I've never been racist, even though I've dealt with racism myself and been called the N-word and all this in my time, but I'm still never a racist because I deal with the person individually. I know all
Right.
people are different, no matter who they are. I got to deal with the person individually. You know what I mean? I can never just hate, somebody for what somebody else did, you know.
Yeah.
But I understand it's complicated as well.
It is a complicated situation, guys, but I think we handled it pretty well tonight here on Tuesday Night Live. We covered a plethora of things, but polygamy and monogamy, a lot of different perspectives,
For sure.
ideologies about race, relations, relationships. I don't know, Lori G. What about you? Are you willing to make? You're looking to make any modifications over there in Fisher World?
I think I've gotten so old and cranky that I better stay monogamous. I don't know if
Well,
I
I
have
do not have the energy to deal
the
with all of that.
capacity
I
to.
feel you, boy. I
I'm gonna
feel
leave
you.
that for the younger generation. That's a
For
young
the
person's game. There you
this
Right.
is
go.
for the Zoomers and the
Yeah,
what are they, Miko?
The
The
Zoomers and
Zoomers
the
and
Boomers. The
yeah.
zoom, 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 and the boom, boom.
Rumors
Zoomers
and
Look,
and the Boomers.
us old heads, we can't.
Uh-huh.
I can't play that game.
I
But
know, I know.
again, the old heads, and like you said, Laura, you've been married. I've never been married. I would love to be, but I never have been. But Laura, you've been married since 1990. Jackie, I don't know how long you've been married, but being that you have been married and the experience of marriage, and like I just said, speaking from the younger generation, how they feel. How do you feel personally? Is marriage like because you've been in it? Is marriage overrated or is it just what like how do you feel about marriage overall? Not only just a younger, just you, period. Being that you experience it. I see somebody else coming in the chat down there.
Right.
That's Mac
Uh,
Malone. What up, Mac?
I think.
Go ahead, Lord.
Well, I think for me, I mean, and I can only speak for me, and I think my husband might even agree. I think marriage licenses should come with expiration dates,
Ooh.
Oh my!
so
Ooh.
Did you
Wait.
that
just say what?
If you want.
Ooh,
it's
wait.
like it's
Oh,
like
you
a
have to get it
driver's
renewed. You
license.
have to get it renewed just like
You got to
your
get it
tax.
renewed.
Every year. You got to get it
Well,
renewed.
every
not
5
every
years.
You
year.
have to
Like
pass
Every
maybe,
5. No, every
and
7 because
you
they
don't
said
you
pass
know
that.
what?
small
I would
test, you don't get renewed.
no, I would argue for like every 20 to 25 years, you should have a
Lord,
chance to reevaluate.
25
Lord, the thing is, every
time, maybe 5. In
ever
this
to the
generation,
board.
you gotta have 5, Lori, not no 20.
Well,
7
I'm just
Maybe every year. Maybe every year. I'm sorry.
Every year?
oh
Sorry,
Every
Nico.
year is a little- I think every year is a little too
I
much.
think it needs to
I
be
say
every
like 10.
7. No, look, 7 years.
no.
A couple will get a divorce.
Okay,
So,
let me
Hey.
justify why I have such a long time span. And the reason I'm saying that time span is because you change and you see life differently like every decade, right?
Right.
So if you commit to someone, you could probably make that commitment for that decade or for even 2 decades. But I clearly know I'm not the same person now that I was 25 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we go through waves and periods in your life and your evolution that at some point you should be able to renegotiate that contract based on current events and future ambitions, or you could decide you don't want to renegotiate it.
Lori, they said every year, not every 10 years.
I know,
Nowadays
Meg.
it has
I'm
to be
like,
every year,
what?
like your registration every year. And we
But
got a special
G-Lew, every
but,
year doesn't allow you to be committed to anything.
but things can change, Lori. I mean, not speaking for you. Let's speak for the younger generation. How they live, things can change every 6 months, every 5 months, every 3 months. You know, real talk, Lori. I'm just
That
being
is
real. Hey,
true.
we got a special guest, Mac Malone. What's up, homie?
Hey,
Hello.
Hey, what's up, brother?
hi.
How
What's
you
up with
doing, sir?
everybody out there?
How
What's
you
up, homie?
doing?
How are you?
Man, I'm still here. You feel me?
That's
What's your
right.
take on all this, homie?
Um, I got a whole lot to say, but I'm just gonna minimize it like this.
Okay.
I was with a white chick and she was older for 6 years, like I
Right.
normally always say when it comes to my story, my history in life. You feel me? She just died last year. So I'm an ex-gang member, right? Supposedly. So I used to take her to hood functions and all. We got hood niggas that love her, you feel me? No disrespect to her any, you know what I mean?
Right.
Straight up. No behind my back trying to holler at her or none of that. You feel me? So I say that to say, I don't even know why the fuck I said that. But look, she was A1. But
Right.
at the same time, like growing up, I've always been not dealing with like right now, but I've dealt with since like what, kindergarten, maybe the first grade. Like if a light-skinned brother or a brother that got wavy hair come up in the classroom, a new cat, oh, he's cute. Oh, I like to have his baby. And that's been even when the little girls were little girls. Little black girls were telling me this. But me and my nappy ass fro, they don't want that though. You feel me? A lot of them, I'm not gonna say all. So don't think I'm saying all, like I'm generalizing all. You feel me? But a lot of females, as we grow up as black men, if we do this, put our hand with the black female hand, okay, then you might want to say, okay, that's like black power or whatever. And then you'll hear whatever compliments from, from your mate. But I know this for a fact, like when you get with a white chick or a Mexican chick or an Asian chick, I don't know. I've been in situations where they've showed me mentally and emotionally, along with physically, that they appreciate me and my skin color. You feel me? As when if I'm with a black chick, not saying all either, not all black chicks, but if I'm with that, like I had a black girlfriend just recently. I had to boot her because she was too disrespectful. You feel me? That's that mouth, man. That's that mouth.
Okay, so
that's that mouth. But see, that's another issue though. I'm not trying to go that route. That's another issue, another topic though. You feel me? But all in all, I've had black women disrespect my naps before the white lady do. You feel me? Right. And then even when I was with my white broad, every time that we got disrespected, it was behind my back. Like we'll be like the first time I didn't even notice it, but she told me about it. We was coming down 43rd, hitting Vermont. As we hitting Vermont to make a right, a car was coming up Vermont to make a left on 43rd. I heard the chicks, but I didn't really pay attention. She heard them though. She said that when they bent the corner and they saw us, they said something racist like, white bitches always trying to take black men or some shit like that. And I've experienced that. Like, it's always been the black chicks to always want to say something first. Like, I've been in many white restaurants and everything, man. No white man has ever given me, I'm not going to say the look, because I look back and, I'm with that, like that, that fucked up mentality kind of still. So they break, they stare, whatever. But I've never had them, you nigger lover, to her, none of that shit. So like I say in the comment section, we can never generalize. We can't read a book and say, okay, they come from this, so they must be that. Because if we read our book, half of us don't even know where to start. You feel me? Our history is fucked up too, as far as like, when we with a white, look, put it like this. Somebody just told a mutual acquaintance just told me a story of when they try to get with this, I think she's Latina, but the whole purpose of him getting with her, and he was a brother, a nigga, he wanted to get over on her. You feel me? So that's where we come from. So I've had that also when I was with my white chick. Calvin, are you sure you just with me for love, or do you want to get over on me? You know what I mean? So we got, it worked both ways. So we can look at the white man like, oh man, they're known for racism. We known for that shit too. Like I say, I didn't be in the car with her when I didn't hear whatever, but I didn't think it was whatever. And she told me that, yeah, what they said was racist. Like, I've never had it from a black male to us. It's always been from females. And it was barely from females. It wasn't like all the time. But instead of like generalizing and putting it all in a bucket, like I could say all bloods act like this. But I can communicate with a lot of bloods, though. I get along with a lot of bloods and enemy Crips. So I can't say a certain hood is all like that. Like all Hoovers is dirty. I can't say that. You feel me? So that's the same thing when you're dealing with like Asians. All Asians ain't clean. You feel me? I've seen dirty Asians that don't want to clean up. Believe that.
Okay.
That's Matt.
I just want to go back to the first concept of like black women not liking you because you, I guess, had like nappy hair. What it comes down to is everybody is taught not to love themselves as black people, right? That's just a narrative that we have to break and fix. I think blackness is beautiful. I'm dark skinned. Everybody in my family's light skinned. So I had to figure that out on my own by myself too. So I totally get where you're coming from in that regard. You know what I mean? So you have to love, you gotta learn how to love yourself. And of course, you should be with a partner who learns to love yourself. When it comes down to the idea of a white man not saying anything to you when you're with a white woman, it doesn't really come down to that. It's about the power, right? So if a white man changes his mind one day, he just don't like the way that you walking down the street with a white woman, he can come and snatch you up any moment and get you, and there's nothing you can do about it. And there's nothing nobody else can do about it. We would just be sitting here like, oh my goodness, Mac is snatched up by this white man and we can't do nothing. That's the part where it gets a little tricky. You know what I'm saying? Historically, I just don't trust that race with my people. I love my people and I want to protect us. So out of protection, I choose not to be with a white man because I don't trust him. And I think that he would cause me harm. Just today, I watched a documentary about Reconstruction after the Civil War. And every time Black people would excel through business, through different things, they come and they will lynch you and they will burn it and tear it down. So for me personally, I don't want any part of that. I don't want the risk of it.
But guess what though, Miss Nico, guess what though?
Mm-hmm.
Look, Black Wall Street, that was 1921. That's different compared to racism in 1992. 1992 is different compared to now.
I mean,
you get it? You get where I'm going?
I see where you're going. I'm following you on this train, but the thing is,
so we're in a different mind state.
Racism, nothing has changed. This is a white supremacist country. We don't have no power here. They control every single thing that we do. Why do you think we live where we live? Why do we eat what we eat? Why do we learn how we learn? Because the white man runs it and controls it. He's letting you be with white women and all that. He letting you. That's the problem. Like, that's not the problem, but it's the truth. Point blank, period. What the white man lets happen, happens in America.
The Aryan man.
The Aryan man. What he lets goes.
So look, I just seen this documentary. I don't even know the name of it. I'm not gonna make this no long, over exaggerated type of shit. But just they were talking about in the world, people love to say like millions of years ago we were like this. When in actuality, this earth hasn't been here for no millions of years. For one, for two, it's like if they say something about like the world is in a dimension, like how they say it spins around on an axle or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You get it? So, and I can't really remember, but like everybody, like the Aryans, they're running this shit now. But at one time, Blacks had it under control. Like, I don't know, I can't get into like what year between this year and that year, because they didn't give it up like that. You feel me? But they said in these different realms of the world, since it's been created, like I said, it wasn't millions of years ago, but everybody from Mongoloid, Negroid, Caucasoid, they all had their position in, I guess, like you said, running shit. So it's a reason why right now the Aryans are running shit. You feel me?
Right.
I gotta, I'm just gonna call it like how it is.
Right. African nations, I know a lot about like history and antiquity, and Black people, we haven't ran Europe. We ran Spain. We conquered Spain for a little bit of time, but that's as good as
for only a little bit until they took over the Muslims.
We conquered Spain Queen for a little bit. There were Moors in Spain, but we were not. We didn't handle it like they did. They're very brutal people throughout history. We didn't lynch and rape and force feed slave. Like, we didn't do our manage of slavery wasn't like that. In Africa, a lot of people try to say we had slaves first. Slaves became like family. It was like you would just become part of that tribe after your time of being a slave. And everything was cool. You didn't die. It wasn't like that. White people have a sense of inhumanity. They're sadistic and they don't care. They really don't. And I refuse to subject my people to that. We're very resilient. We bounce back. We still here. We've been here. We've been through everything you can imagine. Through the Middle Passage, when they brought us over here on those boats, sharks would follow those boats because they would throw off dead bodies and slaves would jump off. Okay? Black women used to have to kill their babies through in slavery, through infanticide. We would have to kill our own children so that there wouldn't be slaves. So for me personally, if I'm laying down next to a white man, all that is going to pop into my brain. And I don't want that in my conscience. That's just me personally. And I want to create more Black people on this earth. And I want Black people to feel happy about it. I don't want now I won't say diluted or anything like that. I choose not to. I want my bloodline as Black as possible. That's just me. That's called Black love and Black pride to me. Now, if your child is still going to be considered Black if you are with a person who's not Black. But personally, I just don't want that. And it's no judgment or nothing like that. That's just me. When I go to sleep and I'm in my brain, and when I'm 20 feet, 40 feet under the ground, I know I was all Black at all times doing me.
True.
All right, so look, one more thing, because you mentioned about the African nations. If you trip off of it, right, who's running the African nation? Africans, right?
But see, the thing is...
No, answer the question. Answer the question.
Africa is a continent. All of them are...
Okay, but I'm just saying, though, you said who run it. African people run it. And from Ghana to Nigeria, look, from Ghana to Nigeria, wherever you at over there, Ethiopia, it's all shitty for the Black committee, and it's ran by Blacks, African people.
The thing about it is, Black people didn't get their liberation until the mid-60s. They were all imperialized. Have you ever heard of the Berlin Conference? They literally sat down and they pulled out a map of Africa, and each European country picked which African countries they wanted to run, take, pillage, and rape. And they did that. So Black people had to literally brawl and fight to get that. And a lot of these African nations, they still have to pay these European countries to get their independence. So they don't have any money. Same with Haiti. Haiti has to pay France to become free. So there's a lot.
Did you know that? I don't know who it is. I think it's Biden. I don't know who it is. It's in the White House. But every so many years, a lot of Black folks don't even know this. You know how they say go out and vote, because in the 50s and the 60s, people like our elders, our ancestors, they died for this type of shit. So nigga, get your ass out there and vote. You feel me? Right or wrong, right?
Right.
But did you know that, okay, they might get out there and vote, they might not. But up until this day, it has to be a law or like, what is it? It's a bill that got to be signed. And they say, yeah, Black folks is free. You know what I mean? What's they call that shit? Yeah, we free as a bird. I guess I'm free because I don't vote, period. But at the same time, when it came to me about every so many years, I think the man said like every 12 or 10 to 12 years, it has to be a bill signed in order for us, African Americans or Black people or whatever you want to call yourself, to, even to be able to go out there and vote. But did you know that though?
No. So
to this day, they gotta sign a law. It's like it's a law, it's a bill or something. They gotta sign that. In other words, we ain't gonna be able to vote if whoever. I think they said.
I don't know about that one.
They were talking about Biden though, but I'm getting the names mixed up. But somebody gotta sign off on that.
They don't want us to vote.
So are you saying that we have to?
Hey, look. So when we vote, half the time it don't even get counted. You feel me? So what's the biggie? You feel me? I don't know. I just say this. In order to get along with yourself, like I said earlier in the comment section, we know the history, the good and the bad. But at the same time, since we know that, we got to stop somewhere and start, changing the shit. Like, say, for instance, if I'm an active gang member, I got to start, when I catch my enemies, I got to let them go. But let them know, though, hey, I'm giving you a pass. So by me doing that, I'm gradually getting away from every time I see one, I'm getting active. You feel me? So that's what I'm saying. When you see white people, instead of just being so quick, because you don't want to be judgment, you don't want to get judged and shit. Every time you go into a beauty salon, look, did you know that they locking down African Pride grease, Blue Magic grease? That ain't the Mexicans stealing it. That's us that's stealing it. So why get mad when they look at us all crazy and shit? We the ones doing it. So we got to stop doing whatever the fuck it is and get over that and change the cycle around. You feel me? Each one teach one. Start raising these little niggas up the right way.
Right. I totally get that, right? But we're in poverty. So if I can't afford grease and I get grease, I'm probably going to steal it because I don't have any money.
Yeah, exactly.
How am I going to get the money to not steal? How are you going to give me the money? What exactly?
But check it out though. I've been a little nigga up in there, like when Thrifty was around. Niggas had money. Niggas still stole though. Believe me, man. I don't know if you live out here in LA, but it's kind of different, man. It's a different mentality. So once we break that mentality and get over that, oh, I got so much money or so many dollars, let me go up in Mama San's shop and try to steal some. Then when we get caught, and you can look on the YouTube, it's always blacks. Whether they black males, black females. So when I step out into the world, like when my lady was here, rest in peace, Tiffany, I made sure that, okay, I know who I am. I'm black and I know my attire. It's not always Pendletons and Dickie suits and Chucks and shit. But either whatever I wear, because I'm dark skinned, tattoos on the face, I can always like, you know, tone it down a little bit. But I know as a black man, I'm stepping out into, you know, into this world. I gotta present and represent myself a certain way. So therefore, when I do see the quote unquote white man or Indian man or Mexican man or mama son, papa son, they might think, oh shit, here go a nigga. Hey, make sure that such and such ain't over there. You know, we gotta lock that up. But when they meet me or they meet the next person, period, that's not on that shit, then they become like more, what's the word? More comfortable with you. But right now, people ain't comfortable with the black man. Period.
But do we?
So a lot of that shit comes from us though, because we've been so stuck on, oh, we got bad blood. Oh, they used to enslave us. Okay, instead of getting mad at the white man, you want to get an angry, throw a hissy fit, nigga. Let's ride on the Arab people. You feel me? Ain't they the ones that supposedly in history taught the white man how to do the you know, the taking over shit in slavery? They came from the Arabs supposedly.
But Mac, on some real shit, right now it's the president. It's our president who's making people like right now. I haven't seen racism is so prevalent in years. You know, we all come from everything. I've been through it, homie. I come from back in those days. You know.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
But it's like right now, it's like I think the president is making it okay for people to feel like these people in middle America or wherever else to feel comfortable with being racist. So it's we see it with the Minnesota thing where you know what I mean? We're seeing it now. So it's like it's some different shit right now, bro, that's going on with the president, and he makes it okay for the people to feel how they feel. And I think that like what Miko said all the way, man, we should love each other, but we definitely have to black men in general have to, you know, have a more love for ourselves, because we still kill each other more than any other. Like even now with the COVID shit, it's been locked down or whatever. As soon as shit open up, we got murders popping up. We got people killing each other. You know what I mean? All over the world. It ain't even in LA. It's everywhere. You know what I mean? So we have our own problem that we have to fix. You know what I mean? Miko, do you feel me on that?
I agree.
Yes, I definitely do understand you on that. But I think as a whole and as a general, like just in general, like black people have to just start loving each other. Like we just have to, and period. Yeah. And I mean, like from childhood. If you like what Mac is saying, like as a kid, that of course it's gonna hurt your feelings. It's gonna make you hate black girls your whole life. All the black girls are saying you ugly and you got nappy hair. Like that's not gonna make anybody feel good about themselves. You know what I mean? So I think as a whole, like we just as black people, we cannot allow that type of division to pop up. You know what I mean? So if I have a black kid and I'm in another, and like let's say I have a light skinned child, and my light skinned child is being mean to a dark skinned child, I'm like, no, we're shutting that down. That's not gonna happen. Everybody's beautiful. Everyone's cute. It doesn't matter about your hair texture. None of that matters. We all black. That type of idea needs to be constantly given to a black child, because they're not going to get that outside of the black community. They're not going to get that. So children need that. So because when they get older, they will get a stigma in their mind that they're not beautiful, and all of those things will happen. Like the example I gave you, Mac, like I had to do a lot of things with myself, right? Because I'm dark skinned. So I had to learn how to love myself for being dark skinned in a world where most people don't like dark skinned people. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
not even us.
Right.
Miko.
Down, right. But I've never held anything against light skinned men. If they said I wasn't cute because I'm dark skinned, that's just
Miko.
like, you don't like me as a light skinned man. So that's cool. But I know other black men will like me. So that's you don't rock with me, but I think I'm beautiful and I know I am, and I'm gonna stand 10 toes down on you.
Miko, let me ask you this, because you spoke on this and I want to dig deeper into this. Like you just said, you're dark skinned, but you grew up around a lot. Your whole family is light skinned. Your mom, your aunt, everybody's light skinned. You're dark skinned. How do you deal with that? Because I'm sure you dealt with your own things growing up as well as a young black.
I think a lot of it came down to my grandmother was dark skinned, so I think being around her and hearing a lot of her like mindsets on it and stuff really like didn't bother me too much. But I think what I had to do, I just had to reiterate how beautiful I was. So a lot of the time it would just say like, oh, light skin is dark. I would say, well, dark skin is, I'm chocolate, I'm cute, I'm this, I'm that. And it's not necessarily making myself believe it. It's just knowing, like, I know I'm beautiful, and I don't care about what color I am, none of that. It's about just being confident. So I think coming from women who are very confident, if you have a moment of weakness, you just got to reassure yourself, and you got to be your biggest cheerleader. So I think that's what it came down to, for me. If, people who made comments or said things, very negative against dark-skinned people, I would just brush it off and just be like, well, it is what it is. I still know I'm beautiful, so it is. I don't care what you think.
Right. And I'm gonna ask
I remember
Jackie
the
and
very
Lori.
first time,
Yeah.
G-Lew,
Oh, go ahead.
Miko, we were, the girl, I'm from Compton, and my girls went to school there. We had a beautiful little school that was called Wonderland Angels. I think they're still there in the city. And so I give birth to these two beautiful girls. I'm not paying attention to skin tone or anything of that regard. Me as a mom, I'm just grateful that I have two healthy babies.
Mm-hmm.
And Miko must have been maybe about 4 years old. I want to say, Miki, if I'm off on that exact age, you let me know. And so she has her older sister. And so the girls, now they're at the same school. And I'll never forget when I picked my daughters up, and Miko says to me, well, one of the students says to her, that tells her that John-Tel, her older sister name is John-Tel. And so she's like, are you John-Tel's sister? Miko's like, yeah, John-Tel's my sister. So the girl tells Miko, how can she be your sister? And why are you guys two different colors? Why are you darker than your sister? But the interestingly wild thing is, I had that same situation growing up under Lori's shadow, because Lori's like maybe one shade lighter than me, if we want to talk about the skin tone thing. And so I was considered to be dark. I was dark skinned in me and my sister scenario, and I don't know, just that was the very first time that Miko came to me with that. It was really hurtful. I didn't know what to say. Miko reminded me, I don't even remember saying this. Miko said, when she asked me about it, I told you that I drank, what'd you say? I think I said I drank more chocolate milk when I was pregnant with you, or something to that effect. But it was really early on that we had to deal with it. And then what ended up happening was, I don't know if we kind of overcompensated one for the other, because then what ended up happening was my oldest daughter, who's a little more fair skinned, she became very, very defensive and very angry. So if anybody's looking at, Miko's skin tone, or why is Miko this color, we were ready to pounce. John-Tel is like that. But I had to learn myself, I had to learn. When I say had to learn, because so many people but then, I know I'm rambling a little bit, but it can go two ways, because I'm sitting here, Miko, thinking about Tony Jeter, for instance, with people stereotyping my daughters. I had this one guy, a family friend, he stereotyped the girls to think that, well, because my oldest daughter is more fair skinned, that she automatically fit some sort of, oh, she's light skinned, she's bougie, she's going to be a bitch. You know what I mean? This kind of thing. And he didn't really connect with the older one, because in his mindset, oh, she's just going to be this light-skinned, high yellow bitch and not going to talk to her dark-skinned brother like me. So he would literally exclude my oldest daughter on things, but he completely likened Miko. And I'm thinking about what you're saying, Mac, just that skin tone color shit within our own race, and it was Miko this, Miko that, and gave so it was almost like, quote unquote, like a reverse colorism thing. It was really hard to deal with. But I don't know, Miko could probably tell you better how we handled it, or if we handled it at all. But all I know is I love them, and I didn't really look at skin tone as I don't know, maybe I should have looked at it better. Maybe I should have prepped both of them better for it. I just didn't know how to deal with that.
You didn't look at it because that's your daughters. You're not looking at, that's how I take it, and how everybody else should. But it's just that goes to show you, though, coming up as black men and women, we can come in all shades and different colors or whatever, but we are still black, and we're going to be perceived as black to anybody else. And that's the thing within our own community. We can look at somebody and say they light skin, they dark skin, and when we judge each other, not knowing that anybody else, we're still gonna be black, man. So it's like, love yourself first, and
exactly.
Period. And you can love anybody else, man. And just like I said earlier, man, I judge people by the character, by the personality, by the person. I don't judge. I'm not, racist in my heart. None of that. I judge everybody by their person, and it's just how it is, and everybody who spoke tonight, I understand and feel in every way. You know what I mean? Miko really was deep with her what she spoke about. And I really appreciate it because she's a youngster and the ambition and everything that she spoke about, man, it's like, man, it's real. You know what I mean? I really appreciate you, Miko, tonight. I really do, because you really spoke from the heart and you didn't, you stood on it, not around it, and you really stand on what you believe in. And I really appreciate that. That's to be commended. I really
Hey, can I say something real quick before because I gotta go, right? Look,
go ahead,
check this out. You know what I respect tonight? When the young lady Nico was talking, she didn't say, I didn't even catch, not even, I can't even say or even recollect one time or two times she said, and like, she knew what I'm saying? She knew what she was talking about.
For sure.
She knew what she was reading and she knew how to, how to speak it.
Right.
So that's all I want to say. I commend you on that. A lot of us blacks don't even know how to talk, period, about something or to each other. You feel me? And that's where the cycle got to change, man. We got to learn how to like respect and love yourself first, and then everything else will come into it, naturally, man. But until then, we going to still be the ones like Chris Brown and Drake say in that video, hey, man, we got to stick together, man, because light-skinned niggas rule. We all black, though, right?
Right.
That's what I thought.
You're right.
Hey, power to the people to the power. I love everybody. Peace.
Mac Malone, love you, homie.
Good looking out, G-Lew. I love you too, bro.
Yes, sir. That's my boy Mac, man. Hey, Jackie Ray, Lori Ray, Miko, and Greg. We're way over, but this we can go on all night. This has been incredible tonight, and I love this episode 3. Tuesday Night Live, Jackie Ray, G-Lew, Lloyd G, Miko. I'm gonna let you ladies. Yeah, we did it again.
We did it.
I'm gonna let you guys take us out of here. Yeah. Miko, you did it. Miko, it's all you.
Oh wow! Thanks, y'all. Thanks for having me. Had a good time. I like to have these. Trust me, ask him. I always have these conversations. Ask Lori, my mom too. I just like to have discourse about a lot of contentious conversations. But thanks for having me. I had a good time, and I'd love to come back. So you guys have a good one.
Gotta have you back.
All right, take care of me.
Miko, Greg, much love, Greg. Much love, homie.
Love you both so much.
Good night, guys.
Lori and Jackie, take us out of here. Jackie and Lori, please.
All right, Lori G, do your thing, beautiful.
Once again, thank you guys for joining us. Tuesday Nights Live with Jackie Ray and G-Lew. You never know what you're going to get. So it was a great show. You guys take care. Have a blessed week, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
See you next week.
Peace.
Love you, Lori.
Bye-bye.
Love you guys. God
Love
bless.
you.
All right. Jackie Ray, we did it again.
Yes, sir.
Episode
We
3.
did it. Love you,
We'll
G,
be back
so much.
next week. Love you more. You know what I mean? It don't stop. Please keep tuning in. Subscribe. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Share this live that we did. Shout out to Queen Jean. Much love, Queen. Megalicious, Standing Man.
Yes.
My homeboy
Haitian
Mac
Queen.
Malone. Haitian Queen.
Yeah.
Who else? I don't know. Dee Miss Dee. Hope you feel better. Much
Yes,
love,
so
Dee
many
Dee.
people.
And
Dennis.
love to Miko. Dennis, the homie Dennis Bridgewater. What's up, homeboy? And everybody else who tuned in, we appreciate the love, man. Hey, we'll be back next week. Better than ever. Jackie Ray, love you. Peace and love, y'all. Tuesday Night Live, Jackie Ray, G-Lew. Peace. We out.
Amen.